start recording?
No.
I'm gonna start streaming. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to another episode of Rocks Fall, Everyone Dies. I'm here with the crew of the Nostromo. This is episode 95. So what happened on episode 94 last time, Johnny? Probably nothing very strenuous, just a lot of sightseeing, right?
Yeah, nothing big at all. Previously on the Nostromo, continuing their exploration of the Isle of Dread after slaying the undead dragon in the tar pits of the south side, our daring adventurers set their sights on retrieving the golden idol they had previously seen laying in the middle of a nesting ground for the local dinosaur wildlife. Sailing up the river leading to the nesting grounds, the crew took notice of the fact that there didn't seem to be any sign of any animal life that they'd encountered thus far on their return to the Isle of Dread. Apart from the fish swimming in the water, they saw no beasts roaming the land, nor birds flying in the sky, or even the sound of insect calls. When they finally reached their destination, the crew found the idol nearly submerged in the river, which had flooded the banks where the dinosaurs had dwelt. Captain Zorkzan spied upon the landscape with a scrying eye, and not only saw the skeletons of the beasts that had once dwelt there, but also mysterious mounds of dirt that almost seemed to quiver with movement. Keeping to the river, the crew swam up to the idol, indicating it was able to identify it was not in fact solid gold. There was also a meteorite at its core, containing the skeletal remains of something or someone. Zorkzan decided to teleport the statue to the Phantom village, but when Decadic attempted to contact the village elder to announce their impending arrival, the only response he received was a ghastly, grotesque gurgling. As the Nostromo flew over land, the crew were able to see that the village was indeed seemingly abandoned. When Zorkzan attempted to get a closer look with his scrying eye once more, it was attacked by a lightning-fast burrowing beast that dove back into the ground and left screaming worms in its wake. Alarmed at what fate had befallen the Isle of Dread, the crew then reached out to the Rakasta Lord they had previously awakened, and through their combined powers, Zorkzan and Decadic discovered that the Rakasta village and their mountain domain had taken flight high into the clouds. But when they attempted to communicate with their lord, he wanted nothing to do with the Nostromo, after hearing some of them had set foot on the now cursed island. Desperate now to find out if any of the island's inhabitants were still alive, the Nostromo flew to the giant wall guarding the southern peninsula of the island, where they knew had once been human settlements. Arriving at night, they found there were still islanders guarding the wall, now heavily reinforced and with a moat dug before it. Engaging in an initially very tense conversation with the speaker of the tribe, our heroes were permitted to anchor their ship in the water away from the village, and were told they could only set foot on land provided they stripped naked and swam to shore, subjecting themselves to inspection to ensure none of them had become infected. Having been thoroughly examined, our stalwart adventurers have been welcomed into the village, where celebrations for the holiday of Pika are underway. As they learn more about what dastardly evil has befallen the Isle of Dread, will they continue to explore the island and attempt to root it out, or will they set sail for new horizons and new dangers to encounter? Find out tonight only on Rocks Fall, Everyone Dies. Corey, do you have a sponsor for us?
This week's sponsor is the Humble Switchboard Operator. In the early days of telephony, companies used manual telephone switchboards and switchboard operators to connect calls by inserting a pair of phone plugs into the appropriate jacks. They were gradually phased out and replaced by automated systems. First, those allowing direct dial with local area, then for long distance and international direct dialing. Now today our communication system is sound and steady, thanks to the humble but essential switchboard operator. Over to you, Tony.
Did they get replaced because like a switchboard operator was sending some guy's business to her husband instead, so the guy got mad and basically invented a replacement?
That was like the 1930s. I don't think there are any switchboard operators anymore. They're called switches.
That was a different term.
Digital switches.
Thank God the game sentience.
E-girls.
We start the episode off again in the tribal tent. Corey, will say for expediency, your character, Toast, also stripped naked and joined the rest of the crew.
We lost Toast.
Nope, we lost Toast.
Oh, he might have his headphones on still.
Okay, well, we'll get back to him when he gets back here.
Damn you!
We'll say he's, I don't know, somewhere.
There he is.
There he is.
He did not.
He does not have his headphones on.
How dare
You
you.
can say whatever you want about him right now. He won't hear us.
Oh, Cody. Oh, there he is.
Okay.
What's up?
Okay,
Nothing.
for expediency, Corey, your character, Norton Toast, came with the crew. You don't have any weapons with you, and you were naked, right?
Okay.
But you were given clothes, tribal clothes, when you arrived, right?
Okay. So my weapon list too?
Yes. Yes. None of you have weapons, and none of you had any armor, except for Strom, who was able to diplomacy his way to have his weapon with him, but it is peacebound.
Gotcha.
We also carried him over the sand.
Yes.
Oh, we
Yes.
didn't.
Yeah.
They did.
They
Yeah,
did.
they carried him over the sand because you guys had the realization that the Forgotten King knows when you step on sand, and his eyes are on you.
Oh.
So we're not gonna step on sand. Me, anyway. I don't know if anybody else, if he knows if anybody.
We're gonna go to the desert next.
It's gonna get very awkward.
Let's get rid
We'll
of
put a baby Bjorn on our tax. He'll carry you around everywhere.
There we go.
We'll give you like 5 rocks and throw ahead of you one at a time.
I'll
How can you hover in
I'll
the
like
air?
be like Yoda to our taxes.
So you guys learned that there are 8 tribes that are represented here. The Tenora, which this town is called Tenora, right? Their villages are named after the people. The Burroman, the Mora, the Pazub, the Kurakura, the Dawa, the Uza, and the Mantrim. Okay? There are 3 representatives from each tribe that are here. There's a chief, a war master, and a shaman that are here. So it's a very full, but very large building. So it's not a tent. This is actually a constructed building. But it's in a single pitched roof, so it's just a large room. Each one does have those 3 representatives, except for the Mantrim, in which there is only 1 person here. I have bolded in black the ones that commonly would probably have something that you'd want to talk to about. Obviously, we'll get to those later. I'll probably have them approach you. But Fano, the Talking Chief, was the one you had met. And Mika, the Green Woman, is the one who had inspected you. I can get to other chiefs if you're interested in talking to them, but we'll proceed kind of with the box text. And then
Alright, so are they the ones that we met, the talking chief, is he the chief of this city?
of the city, and he's the chief of the chiefs.
Okay, okay.
Because you are in the Tenora, and he is the chief of the Tenora, and also the Tenora is the chief representative. It's the biggest of the villages.
Okay.
And the one with
And
the
he's
wall.
also the keeper of the wall, which you guys realize. Also walking in for expediency, Tom, that Shadow Dragon does walk in.
Oh.
And you find out that that is the War Master of the Tenora, and his name is Kushulia, the Nightwalker. He's a human guise. He's more ebony than the rest of the people around him, but he appears in human form, with dark brown eyes, almost black.
So ebony to our ivory.
Yeah. The Tenora people, right, dress in silk canvases. The Burrowmen dress in red leathers. The Mora dress in leathers and bone piercings, right? The Hazinub, Panizub, dress in loose clothing made of wool in a yellow color.
Let's go.
The Kurakura dress in grass reed skirts and leather straps. The Dawa dress in loose clothing made of wool and blue color. The Uza dress in fine clothing of foreign make and differing regions, and wear fine gold and silver necklaces, as well as gold and silver bands on their fingers. They look very rich, and they dress in Thalorian, Brillian, just a mix of fine clothes. It looks like people came through and they just buy these fine clothes off other people. And the Mantrim only have one representative, and he is dressed in light leather armor, made of Rakasta hide, complete with tiger stripes.
Are these all human tribes, or are these included?
Every single one of them is human.
Okay.
Okay, so we begin the scene. Just a big auditorium room, mostly made of wooden timbers, right? And it is made of a pitched, clay shingled roof. Fano the Talking Chief will address the room. He will say, "Leaders of the Mwangi, we find ourselves gathered tonight on this sacred holiday of... What holiday is it?
Pika.
Pika.
What is it called? Pika.
Yep.
Sacred holiday of Pika. But we are plagued by a sickness to the north. 3 months ago it began, when our warriors came back sickened, with holes in their bodies, and the worms grew from them. We learned we can cast the waters upon them, and it kills the worms, but the worms continue to spread. I assume all animal life is dead to the north, consumed by the sickness, if not soon to be. But the last surviving member of the Matarin, who lived upon the plateau, who survived the great explosion when the monster came from the ground and destroyed the majority of the inside of the plateau. Mashawa, the Red Heaven. He brings us word that the great river that cuts through the middle north prevents the worms from going across it. Currently, it is flooded, but there is a dry season, and we fear if by late spring we do not deal with this sickness, that they will go north and take the rest of the north with them. We hold steady with the wall. The waters are deep, and we continue to trench them. We continue to trench the tar pits as well across for another line of protection. The Great Wall does protect from the worms, but it is not just the worms. There are creatures that are born from it, made of the worms. Black, dark hides, armors thicker than any obsidian blade or spear can pierce. It shoots worms from it across over the waters at our peoples, as well as men made of worms, dark green-red robes, who cast ancient and evil magics, have begun to walk out from the forest. The worms themselves have begun to grow, some the size of small dinosaurs, roam across the lands. Some larger than the biggest T-Rex roam under the earth. These worms mutate and grow as they eat the folk. The Phanton have come south, all but killed. The ancient peoples, those that survived, come. The lizard folk, which we have long cast spears and shed blood against, have come to us in peace, and our peoples join with ours again. Everything north of the wall is a nightmare. But our shamans breed hope. Our shamans dream deep in the earth. And they have brought us a vision. All of this sickness is tied to a single worm that escaped from the north. It It is the center point, the spoke in the wheel. If it is sundered, all of the worms die. Mashawa has volunteered to go out into the jungles and to seek out the red worm and kill it. We will begin to take volunteers soon. We have lost too many warriors. What warriors remain, we have huddled upon the walls. Or if the wall falls, our people fall. We have visitors that have come, foreigners. They have been inspected. They are not infected. They came on the flying ship. They are guests, my guests, and we treat it as my guests. I have broken bread with them. They have hospitality for 3 days. And he steps down and off to the side, and people begin to chatter. So, you have the room. What do you guys do?
Go back in time and seal that ship shut.
Wish them luck on their dangerous adventure.
Ixnay on the Ipshade octave.
Wipe it from your mind.
Your characters are given a map of the island, so you have that map now.
We did mention, somebody mentioned, I don't remember if it was on Facebook or where, but somebody mentioned we have the Codex. Yeah.
But
We
it's
have a
damaged,
part of
correct.
it.
Codex
That's-
Aqua.
It's incorporeal still.
So we can't
Probably
even
not
just
usable.
flood the whole place.
From the sounds of it,
If
we
you had the
kill
Codex
false Hydra
Aqua,
first.
you could have.
Sure.
You could do that.
It's
At least
okay.
your character believes that you could.
Okay.
Which would have to kill at least 2 more false hydras to do that, so it's not really popping out to the store real quick.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, have you told us about the dragon?
Not yet. I haven't really had a chance. I just kind of got in. I saw him, and things have been going on.
So, red worm.
Yes.
Dragon?
Is
Or
it-
alien?
Yeah. Why are they calling it the red worm? That's
And was he mentioned the monster escaping, which started all of this? Was that the red worm, or was that something else? Because we assumed that it was the Trask.
Oh, from the plateau? Yeah. Got to figure out exactly what happened there, why it exploded. Again, we could turn back the clock and actually explore that more thoroughly on the brief little in and out we did.
That's something else. Let's get out of here. That seemed bad.
Have fun dying!
The crashed alien ship? No, thank you. You guys can deal with it. Like a possibly go around.
So if we ask the chief, how if the one is going after the main worm, have the visions shown where to find it, or is he hunting aimlessly?
Does your character walk up to the chief and ask that?
Yes.
Okay.
Slither.
I'm walking, it's awkward. Blend in.
Got wooden legs that he's leaning on.
Your character's put his both humps through pants, right?
It's like Khan, Jungle Gabut.
Oh yeah, I'm still running around naked in all my glory.
Yeah. Sure. Fano will. So what do you say again?
how does your hunter intend to find the main worm? Did the visions reveal its location, or?
You would have to speak to Mika, the green woman. She is the one that has had the vision. She is a truthsayer. And the one who goes is the great warrior Masawa, the Red Heaven. You will have to speak with him. He is the last living warrior of the Mantrim people. They were on the plateau. He saw the horrors. His people fought some great battle. Oh, but he died. I'm sure he can tell you the tale of how this happened.
Either he's very brave or very cowardly.
We go to talk to him. He's like, "You guys,
I saw you from a distance looking back, poking around there.
fuckers!"
Oh, kill him, quick, kill him.
My finger of death slipped out. Sorry.
Anyway, so he points you at a old, spindly woman. It's with the crazy hair. She's the one that examined all of you, right? And then he points at another guy who is dressed in light leather, is made of Rakasta hide, complete with tiger stripes.
What are you doing?
He has dark tan skin, long black hair pulled in a ponytail, and just fans out because it's just crazy back there. And he has magical weapons made of obsidian and hardened, sharpened wood. So who do you talk to?
Let's go talk to Mr. Heaven.
Okay.
Do we speak their language?
We've got at least we've got some tongues going on.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys
I think I
have.
cast tons.
The chief had tongues going on before.
Yeah. So raise your hand if you have tongues. If not, they are speaking Mwangi.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was
Okay.
messaging them trying to find somebody to talk to. Like, don't shoot us down, please.
Can I learn Mwangi on the fly?
It's gonna take you a while, but I'll have you start making rolls at the end of the night to start getting closer to some successes.
Okay.
If we go with him, I'm sure he can teach you on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So, you go up to Masawa, the Red Heaven. He turns to you as you start to come up to him. Obviously, he sees you because you guys are the freakiest looking thing in this room.
That's rude.
Whitest kid you know.
Right?
I'm the best looking thing in this room. How dare he?
Flip over to his page. Man, he's got a crazy look on him. All right. He says, shit. Oh, fuck. That's how they greet each other. As you walk up to him, what do you say?
Hello! We are here to ask you some questions.
So Toast walks up to him and says that.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Just like that.
Toast, does Toast have tongues up?
Hell no!
Okay, so what you guys hear is the word greetings. Greetings, Hollowed Warrior. What Toast hears is Mango Sando Tipi.
Ah, yes!
And he punches you in the face. You take 12 damage.
No!
After he punches you in the face, he kind of just sits there. He just kind of leans forward towards you. It looks like he's eyeballing you. His eyes are crazy, but just sitting there.
Surreptitiously, Toast, I think you're supposed to hit him back.
I say, bam!
Okay. Roll. You don't have an unarmed strike, so what's your
I
strength?
do have an unarmed strike.
Well, you do, but like you don't have the monk fighting feat, right?
Oh, no.
Okay. So what's your strength modifier?
+0.
Okay. So you do 1 damage. You want to do psychic damage to this at all? Because you do have that feature.
Nah.
Okay. So you bop him in the face.
Tickle his nose.
Yeah. He punches him. He punches him pretty solid. His head doesn't move much because he's mostly just very muscular. Like he's got a big, thick neck.
neck.
This guy's 27, and he looks like he's Conan if Conan was darker and more tanned, right? Like a bronzed god.
You mean like Conan actually is in the books?
So you after you punch him in the face, he says, Well met. And he looks directly only at your character, Toast, because you were the one that has greeted him.
Ah. Well,
Nongo
That's good.
Nongo B.
yes.
And he stares at you.
Well, aren't we in a bit of a jam? I've bopped you on the nose, you've bopped me on the nose, and here we are, standing here. I say, Captain, or someone else.
I'll cast tongues on Toast.
Toast.
I say,
You now, during the spell, Toast, you can speak all languages and understand them.
excellent.
He says,
My name is Toast. How are you, old chappie?
Hail, warrior. I am Masawa, the Red Heaven, last of the Mantri. Are you
Well.
warriors? Have you
What's
come?
that?
Were you called by the great Mwangi to seek out the Red Death?
I'd be damned if I didn't say we were sliced and interested there. Give us a good old runabout and see this chap all bounded up and brought back here dead on delivery.
So all I'm hearing is toast and.
Yeah. So you are you in your flying ship to go with the warband?
I believe that's what the gist of what this crew is willing to do, old boy. At least
Some bold
I can
assumptions.
volunteer them for you. Of course, you'll need
What are
someone
we
to
being
stay behind
volunteered for?
and keep up the home fires burning, which I am very willing to sacrifice myself to do.
So you are the war chief of your people.
I have been known to be the first choice in some things.
I'm gonna stick my face in front of him. Greetings, Red Heavens. I am Zorksan Venom Tongue, and punch him in the face.
Okay, yeah. Punch him. What's your strength modifier?
3.
3. You do 4 damage to his face. He takes it. His chin goes back a little bit, maybe a little trickle of blood around the corner, and he goes, and he just gives you like a nice little uppercut to the jaw. Take 8 damage.
All right.
You are met. I see you, warrior. I am Masawa, the Red Heaven.
It is fine to meet you. I got enough entertainment out of watching him try to speak to you. And before he tries to volunteer us all the way for something we haven't entirely signed up for yet, I thought it would be interesting to talk to the person who is leading the warband to chase down the horror of this red worm.
Yes, the Red Worm.
So Smoot slides over next to Toast, punches him in the face.
Fuck it, yeah, go for it. Punch him in the face.
Bam!
How much damage you do? You do get a D8 of Radiant on all melee.
Do I have to?
You don't have to. It's you choose. If not, you do 1 plus your strength
I'm gonna say
modifier.
no radiant.
Okay.
Hang on, I gotta undo my belt of giant strength. I gotta take that off. Hang on.
If only we had those gauntlets of ogre power.
Yeah. Hang on, I'm just undoing all my stuff. Hang on.
Okay. He will say, yes, the Red Worm. I have been told some about it. Give me a second, let me look at her name. Mika, the Green Woman, has had a dream of it. She has a picture, and she has a rough location where it can be maybe found. But she does not know how it can be killed. She says there is a secret to killing it that is not known to her. But it is known to someone on the island.
It's a large island to have to figure that out for.
But there are only so many things that live still on it. I have traveled through the island, from the plateau back here. There is nothing but death.
Is the red worm what came from that explosion we hear you survived on the
No,
plateau?
no, that was the terror. The terror with many voices. We fought it. It came up from the ancient temple. It destroyed the island as it came up and started to flood the land with great black waters. It was bigger than any dinosaur I have ever seen or any mammoth I have ever slain for food. It was death. 100 of my warriors fell upon its claws. Their heads exploded. Their magics shrank before it. Some reflected off of its body. It was death. I laid few good blows upon it, and I watched it kill many of my men, and it just kept going. Ancient horrors floated out of the dead wastes. Faces long with tentacles, floating up and out around it with a flying crystal shard of power
Yes.
that rained lightning down upon my people. I only survived because I am a twice dead. I rose in 3 days past my death.
Jesus.
Maybe he's Mwangi Jesus, who knows?
Gonna be Jesus.
Well, it's any
But
consolation.
when I rose, there were 12 of us. 12 great warriors. Oh, son of a bitch. Unintentional. He had 12 in him, right? This is not
Are you
intentional.
sure?
Were they apostles?
Did they have a Last Supper?
They were followers.
Why do they
Take it you
secretly
brought
a
food
dick?
that would be unpledged to
I
the
and
people
my
of this village.
12 apostle warriors rode south from the ruins of the plateau, which is now cut. A great river flows down both sides and wells up from underground waters. It is why the rivers are overrun. We headed south, attempting to find others, great warriors, to slay this beast.
Well, that beast has left your island.
But we found nothing but death, and death chased us in many forms.
That beast is no longer on the island. It actually lives far, far south from here. We had one run-in with it. Sort of.
After we slay the red worm, I would follow you to kill this, if that is your next task. I would want to slay this beast, drive my heart seeker, and he pulls up a short spear, into its chest, and dig out what hearts it has. I suspect to find none, for it is a heartless being who speaks many tongues and ancient evils and tries to trick your mind and break your magics.
With that type, you'd probably be better off digging out his brain.
There is an ancient evil that lies in there. An odd scar that goes all the way across its head.
What do you know of this red worm?
I do not know much of it. The shaman is to tell me later.
So I've definitely figured it would be black, like the other creatures that it apparently makes.
I do not know. I am to be told of it and to be given my task. And as the last of my people, I will kill it or be the last of my people.
Did your 12 apostles die on the way down to this village?
Yes.
Infected by the worms?
must be.
infected or turned. The worms confuse the mind. They can draw you to it with their wriggling, especially the ones who wear the dark cloaks, beings made of the worms, who carry long staffs made of the spines of men.
Really cool.
They whisper in your mind, confusing you, drawing you in. And of course, of course, there is the black carapace. It is a horrid beast. It drills from the ground. Even the earth shakers that have begun to grow from the ground avoid it.
And is anyone else going that you know of in your warband on your journey to slay the Red Worm?
Many are afraid to go north. They think the waters protect them. I think the waters are only a temporary salvation. The evil ones will find a way around. They always do. They cannot touch water. They cannot cross it. They will find a way around it. And when they do, I fear what will happen south of the wall. And maybe the isles beyond, in which some of my people reside. Some of the Mwangi of my people. They are dead. I wish we had gone into the tomb long ago and slew this beast while it slept. But none would harbor my wishes. My people were scared to go into the ancient temple. And we paid the price.
What?
I love the fact that all this conversation's happened. You're only getting like half the
You're
conversation.
trying to get somewhere. Context clues, context clues.
Am I even getting half of it?
You
getting
get
my
what
half.
he says. You get what he, Johnny, him, and Toast say.
Okay.
I mean, obviously you understand.
I haven't
what
said
you
anything.
say,
I'm not getting punched
I
in the
understand
face.
like there's some kind of maybe translation, maybe. Okay.
Really? I'm surprised you haven't got him to come along with you. I'm going to point at the dragon that I've noticed. He looks to be the most capable in this village.
But he is the guardian of the wall.
If you can eliminate the threat, the real threat to the wall's less needed. Send him out to do a bit more active protection.
You would have to talk to the War Master. That is, he is not of my people. That is, Kasulia, the Nightwalker. He is ancient. He was long here when my father's father's father was young. When Fano's father's father's father was the chief here. He is long of life.
Anything else you can think of for now?
Sounds like another information we want is from the green woman. Be the person to talk to.
Oh yeah, any reward beyond the thrill of the hunt for taking out this beast or joining you in your warband?
You would have to talk to the village chiefs. They are willing to hire help to come with me. I would take what help I could. But your people deal in money,
We do, but goods are also welcome.
goods.
Magical weapons, you seem to have some fine ones.
Yes, the shamans have made ancient powers, brought upon woods and black stone. You could ask for such things. You would have to name your price. You would probably have to talk to the chiefs.
Oh, the Phantom. Doing them a favor.
What'd you say last time? We'll get them all together and have a.
Oh, I would just wanted to have all of them for the sake of having all of them.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Every once in a while, it's good to add something rare to your collection. If there's 30 of them in the world, it's pretty rare.
Be a traveling zoo for
Make them more rare as we get hungry, you know. No, thank you for your time, Red Heaven. We'll speak again.
What?
He's leading the war band, but unfortunately he doesn't have much information yet. We should speak to the Green Lady or one of the chiefs.
Do I need to punch him or the Green Lady?
You're welcome to punch him, but then he'll punch you back and he'll want to talk with you, and it doesn't look like you're quite ready for that.
I run over and headbutt him.
Okay, yeah. Okay, he takes 4 damage. Okay, great. He'll smile back at you, and he'll headbutt you back.
Bam!
All right, you take
Just like my fraternity days.
6 damage.
I'll cast tongues on Smoot also.
I wanted to go whispering quietly.
As your head is dazed, you hear the words "well met."
Any chance you could give us a private conversation?
Is that a result of the concussion, or am I actually understanding him now?
Yes. And yeah, I'll also cast my rally cry so that all 5 of us can psychically communicate.
What's in there?
So who are you talking to?
Before we do, we have a rally cry up, point out so that one I pointed out earlier there, the apparent War Master. He's definitely a dragon.
What?
Some sort of shadow dragon, I assume.
Would I be familiar with a shadow dragon?
They're the rarest of the black dragons.
Black, but not quite. I've not seen one before.
Every once in a while, a dragon can be born a shadow dragon of the black dragon clan. It's like being an Asimov, right? You're touched in some way.
I've never seen one like it, but
I think it may be connected to the dragon we slew in the tar swamps.
possibly. Red Heaven there said he was very old and had been here since before any of the other, even his father's fathers. Of course, he's going by some different name, but I don't know if dragons are the sort to always use their normal name. I imagine so, but maybe worth asking.
Was the one that we slew in the swamp, was it a black dragon?
It was a black dragon. We saw his soul.
Yeah, originally, yeah.
And I have a bone of it.
Yes.
Wouldn't mind talking to this dragon.
Between that bone and...
Cast tongues on strong.
Glad you got spells for this.
We all got tongues. We can talk to everybody now.
Less spells now than before. I'm guessing you had to upcast some of these?
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of really low level spells and a couple of really high level spells left to go.
Okay. Okay. So you guys want to talk to the War Master next? Kashawi the Nightwalker?
Yeah.
So NPCs are prepared for conversation. Just positive metagaming. Fano the Talking Chief, Kasani the Nightwalker, Mika the Green Woman. I've also prepared Jakal the Yellowfire, the yellow-colored chief.
Right, we should probably get him as soon as possible.
Umlaut the Wise from that same yellow-colored tribe. I have from the Dawa tribe, Kunda the Dead Hill, Bakura the Crimson Sea. Kuna is the chief of the Dawa tribe. Bakura is the war master of the Dawa tribe. Of the Uza tribe, I've prepared Sanar, the Hidden Bones. That's the chief, and the war master Bakura, the Cruel River, another Bakura. No relation. And of course, I have prepared Mazwa, the Red Heaven. The others I can play. They may have more or less.
Well, let's go see the Shadow Walker.
Okay. You go up to dressed in normal silk canvas, right? Dark silk canvas with light moon accents. Ebony skin almost, with dark brown, if not almost black eyes.
No.
The War Master will look at you as you approach, and most of you see he holds up a single right hand. To you, it's gigantic, and it's like up there and like shadows. Because you're seeing both, like this form and like the other form, right? Yeah. So, yes.
Greetings.
Greetings, warriors.
Greetings, War Master Shadowwalker. I'm
Nightwalker.
Nightwalker. Apologies.
Night
I am
Walker Shadow.
Captain Captain Venomtongue here of the Wu-Tang Clan. These are my highest ranking officers with us.
I keep forgetting that's the name. Okay, keep going, keep going.
I thought it best to pay our respects to clearly the most powerful warrior in this tent.
No.
And
A bold statement. I'm the oldest in this tent. At least. But why is it your people have come in your flying ship? I have seen 7 in my time. You are the 7th.
well, we came to this village specifically looking for light, because we were out across the rest of the island. There was a rather rather noticeable lack of it. It was good to see that at least this village still exists.
The wall was built long ago to keep those that are north out. We never thought it would keep these horrors out. You are more than you seem.
You as well.
Of course. So, have you come to join the war band? Are you to be bribed with money, women, liquors, food? Men?
Well,
We do not deal in slaves here.
No.
slaves don't typically make those choices anyway, but no interest in slaves at this time.
Slaves.
Unless, of course, you're looking to get rid of the Phantom. But,
No.
we might have one for you, actually.
No.
Are you looking to be hired? Are you
I like
looking
it.
for names, blessings?
Actually, I was wondering if you were familiar with, what was the name? The kind. Akrian?
Well, yeah, the dragon.
Nakrian? Shoot.
Yeah, let me bring up.
Just a second here. We're
Just the
Remembering his
think,
name.
right?
Okri? I swear it's Areen or something.
Oh, not that one. Ugh, too many D&D folders here. God damn it.
Okay.
There we go. Going back all the way down. Da, 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 da. The dragon that we fought was a Nersocrian asking us to apologize to Amoden the Kind.
Are you familiar with Amoden the Kind? We're looking for him.
You would be one of many that have asked the Mwangi that question. You seek Aboden the Kind.
Pass the
Eldest-
message to relay to him.
Eldest living son of... Give me a second. eldest living son of Yadas the Green. Yadas the Eternal Green.
Interesting. Is he related to the Lifebringer?
Yes, he is
Well,
related to
I guess-
Yadas,
are
the
all
Eternal
Green
Green.
Dragons related?
Aren't you?
Dragon.
I am not related to him. I am but a man.
Yeah.
I'm rolling a
Inside-
subterfuge. I'm rolling a subterfuge check. Because some of you may not know. You probably all fucking know at this point. Are you proficient in subterfuge? I'll say you will. Alright, that's not high.
He's old, so probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, what did you get?
18 for insight.
I rolled really low. You got a 17 on a 6.
Ooh.
Yeah, this motherfucker's like spouting some lies about that.
All right.
Yeah, something's very untruthful. Like, you, with that insight check and where you're from, you're used to looking at dragons and human guys. You notice so when dragons attempt to take on human form, they do it fairly well, but there's an uncanny valley, right? They don't get all the pieces perfectly. Or sometimes they get them too perfectly, and they just don't look right. And you recognize the uncanny valley. Something about this face you look at and your brain recoils as if this is not a person.
When I, realize that, I want to drop down to a knee.
What, did you not believe me?
No, now he knows that I know.
There is no need for that.
I think there is.
Stop licking my hand. I'm trying to plug something in.
I am honored, but I am not one of that country. I was born here on the Isle.
But you have noble blood.
Yes, I do. My father came here in disgrace.
Would I know the story of that?
What was the other one's name? Nukarim?
What was the other one's name?
yeah, the one that we
The
killed.
black dragon, the
was,
skeletal dragon.
Yeah, so
Nursokrian.
Was it
Nisokrian.
Nersokrian?
Did you get the deed name or did you just get Nisokrian?
That's all that I have written down.
Roll me a history check to see if you can put that together.
14.
Something in your brain rings and you think Scorpion Clan.
Okay.
But it's like something. You're close, but you're not close enough. Something that matters, but you're not sure what. It might take you more time. You might have to look into the name Nisokrian.
Okay.
But that means that this is the son of Nisokrian. You're not sure how significant that was because you didn't get the deed name, right? Without the deed name, there's a lot of dragons, right? The deed name kind of helps tie it together. It's like name's Tom, like, but which Tom, right?
Bombadil.
Okay. So something
We
you
can't
probably
fuck with
spend
that guy.
downtime looking into later or
Okay.
something. But he will take a small step back. He's like, please rise. Let's not have any illusions about this, but I will not break those illusions here. I am but a long-lived human in these lands, though the chief and the shaman know my secrets. You seek the hermit in the north. He who guards the ancient packs. He still lives, I'm certain. He is north of the river. And these worms do not go beyond it. And though blind, he is no fool. Though crippled, he is not harmless. Though peaceful, he has still fangs. If you take care of the red worm, I will introduce you personally. If not, he may speak to you, he may not. He is old and cares little for others. He keeps ancient pacts and secrets, that which are far older. Though he is a source of knowledge. He was young when the Elven empires fell, but he was still there. He is not as old as the Eternals, but he is probably, outside of the Patriarchs, the eldest of the worms that live.
I would greatly appreciate an audience with him when this is over.
You know my price.
Sounds like he outlived his title. Someone the kind, and he just cares little for others.
He's a dragon. Didn't say he's not a hypocrite.
Gave himself that name.
So, yeah, this guy's staring at you. Anything else? Or are you talking to one of the others?
Well, I'm speaking to him. Would he? Well, we'll do it outside of here. Meet him at another time, I guess. Then, since he
Okay.
doesn't want to meet too much, talk too much about dragon stuff around everyone. Clearly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, shall we go speak to the green lady?
The green
Okay.
woman.
Mika the Green Woman. Right. How about we take a quick 5-minute break? I'll let the dogs out. They seem to be losing their mind earlier.
A little bit.
Think they need to pee? Here. Let's take a 5-minute break. I'll take the dogs out. And we will speak with Mika the Green Woman to see what this crazy old lady has to say. Which she has stuff.
Stuff with things in the place.
Stuff with things in the place. After these messages.
What was the name of that
Let me
dragon?
see.
I have it
Slideshow,
written down as,
background music, and
Nersorien.
The kind? Is he the kind?
No, it's
Nightwalker.
Amoden. Well, yeah, Nersorien, we don't know what his.
And you learn that Aboden is the eldest living son of Yadas, who is a patriarch, right? So super, super old, right?
Is your dad alive?
Oh yeah, the patriarch Stone Age. They are eternal worms.
So Yadas is Yadas the one that is the hermit?
Yadas is a hermit, but he is not the hermit. The hermit you know is Aboden,
Okay.
which is north. But yes, you are seeking out Yadas.
Okay.
That's the guy you're looking for. It's that you were charged to find, because he's one of the patriarchs. 4 of the patriarchs are fighting, 2 on each side. He is the third, right?
The deciding vote.
The deciding vote, because they're all equally matched in one way or the other, but he obviously would be a sliding factor, right?
What's up, Trey?
Hey, Trey.
What's going on?
You take a 5-minute break.
Yeah.
We know you're tired from all we've been doing so far.
So we'll say that the robot is here. Obviously, because he's naked, you know, they looked him up and down and could actually catch Trey up on what's going on.
Yeah.
He didn't swim so much as walk along the bottom.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
When
So
you're a robot.
Upstairs.
we sailed around the island some more. Decided to go try to retrieve that golden statue that we'd seen before. Oh, there we go. You got out of the way early tonight. There you go. And basically realized that there was no animal life anywhere on the island except fish in the river. Meekob's village, which we flew over, was barren and empty. Scried weird little worms crawling in the ground and other little beasties. We're now at the village on the southern tip of the island, where that big giant wall is. We flew down there, which is basically where the few surviving tribes of the island have gathered up, defending themselves against this xenomorph-esque life force infecting the island. Talking with some people. They apparently believe they had a vision from one of the medicine women saying that if we kill the prime worm, the red worm, that's like the source of all these species, it should kill all of them. For now, they are held back by water. They do not like getting wet or crossing water, although they can be shot across water. They've got these little hunter beasties that can shoot them out at people. And yeah, that's pretty. We're just talking around, getting more clues onto what all this is. Probably going to be joining their expedition to go kill this beastie.
Hey!
Yes.
The robot is present.
Good. Yes. Yes, I'm gonna take good bait too here.
I haven't seen the cats. The whole time we've been here.
What?
I haven't seen the cats at all.
Yeah. Hiding upstairs. So we've been talking to the people of this village just south of the wall on the Isle of Dread, and we're basically getting information. They're talking about sending out a war party to kill the red worm, which is responsible for all of these creatures and worms and such around the island. Their lady had a vision: if the red worm is killed, all the rest will die. And yeah, we just talked to the shadow dragon that lives in the village. Only a couple of people know he's a dragon and didn't appreciate Strom showing too much what's the word here?
Deference.
Deference, yeah, there we go. And we're gonna talk to the Green Lady. They had the vision, and we're figuring out if we want to go join their hunting party or what.
You do guys have the hint that there is treasure. Possibly if you talk to the chiefs, there is a reward.
Okay.
Neat.
With nobody around, Captain, maybe we should do this out of the goodness of our hearts, because we do bear some responsibility.
It's in our head. You're just talking just to me, but yeah.
We are back.
Never pass up the opportunity for profit.
So,
He's charged for Indy.
We can still do it anyway. Can still do it, just get paid while we're doing it.
based on what we heard earlier from
I think it's our
Dino
fault.
talking
We're not
earlier
sure.
about at the plateau and all that stuff, is so we know that these worms and the Tarrasque are technically separate, but was the Tarrasque exploiting out the plateau what really spread the worms out? Mentioning there was like black water that came out of the plateau. Is that what spread the worms through the rest of the island?
No, he seemed to, which you can piece together, because your character's passive investigation is super high, they're unrelated.
Okay.
It left the island, and the worms were already there. Like, the 12 went south, and the south was already decimated by worms. It's just not on the plateau,
Okay.
just south of the plateau. You know, the plateau is very high up, so maybe the worms, you're assuming... You're kind of putting two together that what was described in the captain's logs and the horrors he saw in the cursed elven lands of Valishdana is exactly what you're seeing in that area. And you guys opened up a door and let something out and then didn't chase it. And you're thinking that maybe they're probably very connected. Your characters have enough intelligence to put those together. No one else knows that, because no one else here could possibly put those
No one
together.
ever will.
I'm using my skill called willful ignorance.
I think Neil already took that feat.
Your characters made the decision to open the door. So
And then afterwards, we read the letters.
afterwards you read the
Like,
letters,
ah.
and you're like, "Oh, don't open the door. We sealed it
As
in
we're
there.
standing in that room.
We went and
Don't
we
open
got
the
something
door.
very specific from Valishdana that somebody had asked for. That, once again, you know that person that sent them to go get it. It's the same person that sent you to get the flaming sword.
Oh, that douche.
Oh.
He, at the very least, he was the intermediary. They sent them to get something very specific, not any worm, something very specific. They didn't say they were getting a worm, but you figure, okay, they got something specific, there's a sickness, it's spread. Okay.
So we need to beat his head in and find out who he's working for.
Maybe?
Hey, we brought you this flame song sword. Now, if you don't want it to be used on you,
Start talking or start eating.
Okay, so anyway, you guys are in character. I have a lot of NPCs. What do you guys do? Obviously,
woman.
talk amongst yourselves and figure it out too.
green woman.
Green Woman. You go to Mika, the Green Woman,
Is her
ancient
skin
shaman of the Tendora tribe. Okay. As you approach her, she looks at you, eyes squinted, partially glazed. Right? She probably has some kind of cataracts. She says, "Oh, is the men from the flying ship, right? With very healthy men,
That is us.
strong warriors. So, tight buns, what do you want?"
Oh my
Yep,
god.
points at you. Points at your I didn't say she wasn't pervy. Old lady. She's got like 2 years left in her life. She doesn't give a fuck.
Smooch of the tight bud.
That's what Chappaquiddick translates to.
Wow. Well,
We have come for information. My captain there is wanting to know things.
oh,
Do you really think they're tight?
very firm.
You're gonna get
I had to
hurt by
investigate you thoroughly for access holes.
I noticed.
Scarlet, if she was really old.
Wow.
Oh, right. Well,
But she'll never get to that age.
She's angels now.
She's
All right.
old as the earth.
Snake man without a butt. How can I help you?
She identifies people by
He
their
who is of no anus.
Terrible vision.
No anus.
So she's mostly
Zoltan
just,
of
and
no
she's
anus.
very short, so she mostly just reaches out and grabs what she can.
That guy was facing away.
We were hoping to hear of this vision you had about the red worm.
Ah, well, if you go on the war party, I'll tell you my vision.
I prefer to have information before I promise myself to a potential suicide mission.
I prefer to have dessert before dinner, but I have the diabetes. So that's not happening.
My ex-husband.
Take your word for it. That's an unknown illness in my race.
Not a very sugary diet and quick salad.
Sounds awful, though. Whatever it is.
It is awful. It's awful, but I am only giving this information to the war party, and the chiefs know it. I'm not giving. We cannot afford for those not involved in the war party not to know it.
Afraid that someone will go out and slay it without your war party?
I'm afraid that someone might go in and feed the worms, make them stronger. They subsume those that come against them, and they become part of the horde. Part of the lava mages. One of the black scarabs.
The lava what?
Lava mages.
Larva.
Mages made entirely of worms.
Just like a lava first.
Yeah.
The larva, the larva,
Larva.
lava.
They,
Larva lava
when they
mages?
eat a spellcaster, that spellcaster's magic gets absorbed by the worms, and the worms know their magic.
Arcane or divine?
Both.
Oh.
There is a word that all the worms say, and you will hear it in your mind when the lava mages are close by. Kos. Wait, is it Kos? I think it's. I'm gonna say Kos for now. I think it's Kos.
Gosh. Grant his eyes. Some say cousin.
Telepathically talk to the captain. I agree with Smith. I feel we should join them on this war party, given our unintentional role in all of this. It would be nice to clean up one of the messes we've made, at least, so we're not entirely pieces of shit.
Chris. Kyuss. Chris. Sorry, keep going.
Kuiss?
Kuiss. Chris.
Can you at least tell us about the red worm at all? Is it not like those large black-shelled carapace creatures?
Perhaps it is. Perhaps it isn't. Are you afraid to join a war party? Or are you trying to sell this information? Pirate.
I'm afraid I don't know anyone who would be interested in this. Well, I guess... that is a good point, but
One of the
who could I
other
sell it
things that
to?
we've released upon the planet might be this.
How many of those have you been here for, Matt?
He's
I'll get one, maybe. I don't
We,
know.
not you.
I mean, it's a good. I mean, I've been there for
I think you've been
3
there.
or 4.
Were you there
Pretty
when we
much
did the
all.
Draco Lich?
We were
Was that the sword?
underwater.
Yeah, the sword and the skull.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our first one. You've been there for all of them.
Oh,
then.
okay
That
then.
was the first.
Oh, okay, then yeah, never mind.
That's the first one you guys have
Okay.
realized.
Apparently I was
No,
wrong.
probably more that we haven't. Whatever happened to that cult that we left behind and you replaced the leader of with the one.
Oh yeah, I was meaning to go back there at some point.
Yeah, she's probably on a warpath somewhere now. No big
We
deal.
need to go back there and force her to let me lead her cult. I mean, go back there and stop them.
Alright, anyway.
It's not that we're not afraid, although a healthy dose of caution never hurts anybody. That's why we're still alive now. Most
Some
of
of
us.
If you were to join the war party, we might be able to bribe you. Money, magical powers, names that bequeath you strengths. Each would have your choice. Every member who comes back will be granted something. Money, lands.
I mean, they are vacant right now.
So there's money, lands, ancient magical powers. We have old artifacts and ancient spells that we are doing little with. We have no enemies. Everyone north of the wall is dead. When the worm is gone, the isle belongs to the Mwangi.
Sounds like they set this thing loose.
We have things called artifacts, if you are interested.
Captain, if for no other reason for your own self-preservation, consider these creatures have cleaned out this island of all life in just a few months. If the unthinkable were to happen and they were to get onto the mainland in Quixava or any other nation and spread throughout the rest of the world,
I appreciate your impressions of my good intentions towards my homeland. But with those sorts of promises, artifacts, I'll get our pick of something. I'd say that's good enough.
And we get to figure out what may have happened to the Green Dragon.
The Green Dragon's still around. He just doesn't land. They have mentioned he still comes here.
also the very northern part of the island hasn't been conquered yet, and the dragon is somewhere up there. It also just might not be within easy reach of them yet. If I may ask this, when is this war party setting out? Are you planning to hunt down these beasts? Say, if it were to rain, would that halt the progress of these worms, make the journey easier?
Could make it easier. They do not attack during the rain. They tend to take shelter. But if you are interested in the war party, they leave in 2 days.
Those treasures you mentioned, it's quite tempting. If we do sign up, do we speak with you or the Chief of Chiefs here? Perhaps the Red Heaven?
The Chief of Chiefs. The Chiefs will give you a reward. You can choose money, a name and title, or power. You could try to arrange your reward beforehand or after. It's up to the chiefs to decide. A name of power will strengthen you. AE, increase one stat of your choice by 1.
Oh.
Lands and titles. AE, a level 1 stronghold. Or ancient magics. AE, a purple item I will roll at random.
Ah, dang. It's an artifact. I was thinking we were going next tier up.
There
Orange items.
is an artifact. I will roll a percentile roll to see if you get to choose off the artifacts table. It'll be I'll say out of character. You roll a 75. You roll percentile dice. You roll 75 and above. I roll a random artifact you get. If not, purple item. That's random. So each of you gets a choice of a stat, a stronghold, or a purple, possibly legendary item. That's the gamble of that. You could get something really, really powerful or something just powerful.
This one, a purple item is
Or
meaningless.
upping a stat. That's a big deal. You got an odd stat and you really want it to be even. And you get a cool name. A Mwangi name. That's right. I roll a tribal name you get. Based off the stat.
A name that'll be meaningless to people who aren't on the
You
Isle
also
of Dread.
do get a name if you get the stronghold as well, but you don't get the power behind the name.
You can have a name or a name with stats.
Name it land or name it that?
Well, I mean, the strongholds can give you stuff, obviously, like
Fighting styles.
fighting styles, stronghold fighting styles, money every month, or like custom magic spells,
Troops.
right?
God, the
Troops.
artifact sounds so good. With the
A
purple
druid
items, bring them
sanctuary,
down.
right? Just something. So, anyway,
Okay. I said let's do it.
Well, sure seems that we're going to. Rewards are good enough. We're definitely not doing it for charity. Regardless of how heavy your conscience is in the way.
Charity isn't usually done due to heavy conscience, Captain. There's more reparations.
What was her,
That
what was her
implies
name
you did
again? What's
something
the...
wrong.
the name of the lady is Mika, the Green Woman.
Never admit guilt.
Mika, I do have a question
first
for
thing you
you.
need to
It
learn to
appears that we're all in agreement that we are going to join the war party.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have to expect? How can we best prepare ourselves for the fight ahead?
The worms live. The red worm will be found in an ancient nest. You will have to burrow deep into the worm's nest in which it resides, and you will have to fight the red worm in its lair where it broods more of its kind. You will have to guard yourselves against the worms lest they burrow in your skin and seek to nest in your brain. You would have to be a creature without flesh for them to not want to eat you. And she looks at your automaton. We sadly possess few constructs here. I had some golems made of
We
driftwood.
have two others we can dump off.
I'm not even sure they work. I think they're just gonna end up being like spare parts for them. I'm not sure.
If we can get them to work, we can like toss them off ahead of time, have them go berserk.
I mean, fine by me.
Is there any other way to make us unappealing to the worms?
If we're running around
Although
sopping
yourself
wet,
into feces.
so if we're just wearing sopping wet rags upon us,
Don't think so. They even eat and possess the dead. They eat flesh. They hunger to eat the brain. You would have to be a skeleton for them not to care of you. Fleshless, brainless.
So, Toast.
hey, he's flesh.
Yes!
But not. No brain.
Okay.
Well, in 2 days, the war party leaves. Tomorrow morning, the war party is announced. If you are to become a member of the war party in the morning, after the festival is done, there will be an announcement at the Great Central Ziggurat. If you are there, and you become a member of the war party, you will be celebrated. You'll be given a hero's feast, and the next day, the war party will take off to a place that I tell them, where I know it resides. If you choose.
Will we be permitted to bring our own weapons and armor with us that we left back on our ship?
Of course, bring whatever you'd like. But do not come back unless the red worm is dead. And keep in mind the sickness. The worms do not take long. If you die while they're in you, you will become one of them. If not, they will slowly burrow until they reach your brain. Some it takes days, some but an hour. Depends on the constitution of those and how long they are able to fight off the wriggling worms inside their veins.
Should we volunteer to transport the party on our flagship?
You're reading my mind.
It would be best.
Bypass a lot of nastiness until we get to wherever we think their nest is.
Well, sounds like we should go speak to the chief.
Okay. You guys, I assume you're the
The
chief of chiefs. You're talking to Thanos,
chief
talking chief. Okay.
Yes, tucking in again.
Or the chef chief.
Primary chief.
Primary chief. All right. Thanos there. Once again, description of him: large elderly man, kind of hulking in shape, kind of bear-shaped, very barrel-chested, barrel-bellied. He does have a black, withered arm. Out of character, it looks like he suffered a stroke some while ago. His other arm is massive, though. Just a giant arm. And he has, once again, kind of like a reverse mohawk and just hair. Gray along the sides, but black along the top. Kind of like a skunk.
Did they keep telling us the rent is too high?
Yes, exactly, with a boot on his head. Anyway, he, as you go up to him, he waves you down. He's like, I hope that this is to your liking. Would you like some poison berry wine?
Yes.
Seems very drunk.
Sounds delicious.
Careful, it makes you see things.
Challenge accepted.
It is both an alcoholic and psychedelic.
Oh,
Nice.
that's right up Smooth Alley.
So anyway, he'll offer. There's a giant bowl in the middle. It keeps seeming to start to refill, right?
Just dunks his head.
And they're just dunking in chalices and just pulling them out.
Just tilts the whole thing back and just keeps chugging.
Okay.
Well, Chief, we've heard the plight of your people, and we decided it would be in both of our best interests to join your hunting party and attempt to kill this red worm.
Well, there are money and riches to be had. If you would like to join, you should know. You can choose money. You can choose power. You can choose a true name. Or you can choose an item of power. Oh, money's also an option. The personal funds for the money, if you decide it, is 25,000 gold for your character. Yeah. The magic item normally not worth it, but you can't.
25,000.
But you normally
gold?
can't. Yeah. Copper.
Okay.
Copper. You normally
doesn't
can't
exist.
buy a legendary item. Those have to be normally found. So the thing with you get a purple item, which is obviously not worth 25,000 copper pieces, but a legendary item is upwards of worth like 50, just by itself. So you're rolling the bones, and that one's the gamble.
We'd help out, and we figure for a smaller additional reward to make the travel safer for the rest of the party, we could take our ship along, flying over instead of having to make it through the worm-infested lands until we get closer to the target.
Okay. Roll me a persuasion check.
I will assist.
How will you assist?
His winning smile.
You want us
I'm going to look the chief in the eye.
Okay. Roll me a
Which
Constitution saving throw.
his
right?
face is
You
melting.
drank like three things of punch.
If you succeed on a 16 on the Constitution saving throw, I will say you successfully assist.
16!
Son of a bitch. All right, you get advantage.
Okay, sadly that didn't help. I went down by 1. So 23.
Well, fuck you. All right.
Plus 10, baby.
The chief will rub his chin and he'll think, all right. For the flying ship, I will give you one additional choice that you will split with yourselves.
I find this agreeable.
Only those that are in this room receive the offer of the money, power, or item. I assume your warriors are your warriors, and you will split with them if you bring them with you. As an honorable chief would. AE cohorts get nothing.
Yeah.
You'll have to give them part of your share if you bring them.
It's fine. The payments among my crew members who man the ship has already been settled. There's nothing to worry about there. They won't expect extra. Well, they might, but they won't.
Yeah, you're seeing your hand is a rainbow sword right now.
Is everybody else seeing this?
Yes, we can see your hand, Smoot.
No. The rest of it.
Yes, we see the arm,
Yes!
too.
The
Yes, I too
inside.
can see that thing that you're describing.
The inside.
If he drinks much more than that, he'll actually remember what the fuck happened on the Chappaquiddick that night.
So the worms, they can't seem to spit. Well, the one that spits worms can't seem to make it over your wall, and that's how tall was that wall?
The wall itself is
Yes.
25 yards tall. That's huge. That's a very tall wall. That's as tall as a gargantuan creature. Like it's
That
like
giant monkey?
yeah, almost like it's meant to keep out a giant monkey, right? You did see a giant monkey once, but it was on an island though. So, yeah.
Is this island in the shape of a skull?
You didn't get a chance to see it. Threw a rock at the ship and almost rocked the ship.
You did hit the ship.
Yeah, it hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it threw a boulder at the ship, a big boulder.
Yep, Rutherford was cursing for about a week while he was fixing that.
All right, well, let's enjoy the party. If anyone else has someone they want to talk to. Oh, yeah, actually, there is one person to talk to. The yellow clothed chief.
Oh, okay.
No, maybe instead of talking to them, we asked him about what's that tribe.
Chakal, the yellow fire.
You're welcome to speak to people. I'm going to go speak to the guy in yellow.
I
Okay.
need to talk to the Phantom.
They're everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, you go up to Jakal, the yellow fire. He is the leader of the Panazub. They are farmers. He's dressed in loose clothing made of wool and yellow, in a yellow color. He does have some kind of like pearls around his neck, and they're huge fist-sized pearls strung around what appears to be a silver chain. So there's about 9 pearls. Each pearl you think is worth about 500 copper.
Gonna kind of lean in and speak quietly to him. Have you seen the yellow sign?
Roll a
I'll look through the.
persuasion check?
21.
21. He's gonna be like, apologies. I am Jakal, the yellow fire. I do not see your yellow. He's gonna look around, kind of confused. I do not understand.
Insight
But-
check.
Okay, insight. Fuck it. You called insight, so you get it. You're the insight guy.
Yeah, not really that stat. 18.
He seems confused.
offer him a drink. Well, you haven't had enough of this yet.
I abstain. I abstain from drinking. As you reach out to grab, before he even says he doesn't drink, Smoot has already grabbed the goblet from you.
It's a bit of a weird question, but I did have to ask. So what is it? Where did your people come from? I assume you're not actually from this village?
We are not. I am chief of the Panazur. We are south
Come here.
of here on the edge. Your ship actually came to ours once for repairs. I recognize you. After you fought at Farshore, you went to a tribe for equipment. They didn't let
Right.
you in, but you got your ship repaired.
Nice to see your village let us in this time.
Yes, the Tenawa is, of course, the central village is the most populated. It has nearly 1,000 people.
Yes, I found out the main thing I wanted from him.
He kind of looks at you. When you do say, have you seen the yellow sign? I'm going to see who would get this roll. There are 6 of you. I'm going to roll a d6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's actually the captain.
Ah, God damn it.
I want you to make a investigation roll.
I hate investigation. I want things spelled out for me. A 10.
10 is good
You may
enough
need
to
them
see.
spelled out.
When you do say that, Umlaut, the wise, has a single golden eye. It's yellow, but obviously it's yellow gold. He is missing an eye. That eye is gold. And he seems to look at you in concern. It's obvious because he gets closer, almost near your face, and he's looking at you with the golden eye.
I'm naked. My brand is mega visible, too. That's right.
Oh shit! He is looking at the, and he says, as he pats the chief on the shoulder, he says, Jakal of the Yellow Fire, Sandar, the Hidden Bones, is still seeking a husband. Could you talk to her about your son? And he goes off, oh, of course. And that really attractive tribal woman I talked to, he talks to her. She is the chief of the Uza people. She is Senar, the Hidden Bones.
You're so cute.
Umlaut the Wise looks at you and he says, I have seen the yellow sign, and it is horrid. If you are one of his people, you are not welcome here. I will have the chiefs cast you out. Haster has no place at this table.
Well,
Mom has no place at this table.
I don't sport this tattoo for fun, if that's what you're wondering about. More checking for my own concern, my own safety.
That's a sacrificial brand, I would hope not. They have come here before, seeking our people. The slavers have come and wrapped them up. I noticed their sigil and their sign. They take them to... Give me a second. So I can draw...
The temple, the evil temple on the plateau.
No.
Oh, okay.
They take him to Slaver's Isle, known as Papillion Isle.
Oh, yeah.
There they gather slaves for the cult of the Yellow Sign. And their clerics pick them up on a regular basis on their yellow ships.
That's not the way you intercepted Soso the first time.
They were taking prisoners from there.
Now, from Papillion Isle, yeah. So
We
you
will
guys,
burn these ships to the waterline.
he has had much drink. Soon he might actually see a great symbol from Mwangi.
But I needed the encouragement, but alright.
Yes, we've had issues with many of their yellow clothing wearing brethren, so it would seem prudent to check with you. Been betrayed more than once by some who seemed fine beforehand.
Yes, the yellow is because it is a common dye in our area. A volcanic soot. So most of our clothes are dyed yellow because it's that or wool gray. And it's easy to find our people in the woods. We are farmers.
Do you have any warriors that will be joining on the warband with us?
Sadly, no, we are farmers. You may get a couple from the warrior tribes, but we can provide food. We are not a fighting people. We till the earth. We seek the land. We speak kind words. This is not a land of war. A land of peace. 8 tribes joined together in unity. Well, 7 now. The 8th tribe is but one man. A strong warrior who seeks his death and his honor again with it.
Even the tilled earth can bring forth mighty plants.
Wise words. Mwangi speaks strongly with this one.
Indeed.
You're already getting a dream tonight, buddy.
No role necessary. On the subject of slavers, we did hear that apparently a Brillian vessel had sailed by here recently. You didn't know if they happened to make off with any of your inhabitants, did they?
No, the Great Iron Ship headed towards... Yeah, I think that's it. Let me make sure that that's actually it. The Great Iron Ship made off towards the island that is not on this map. It has made its way to the Skull Island. Strange people. The captain spoke of great riches, bringing something back to Brillia. They tried to come here, but we cast them off. We chased them with spears, what few spears we had. They took pictures of us with their cameras. I do know of this invention. We are along the coast, so we commonly see them. Some actress or model woman was on our shores trying to get a picture taken, and they had giant chains on the ship. They were seeking to grab something, but we cast them off, and they headed towards Skull Island for some unknown reason. The massive ship.
And a mighty warrior who kept yelling about mother-loving.
You say that in character without any context.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? You're tripping balls.
Yeah!
I've seen this movie.
Well, so long as they didn't kidnap any of our villagers, both to avoid the tragedy and also to make sure no one infected does get off this island.
We chased them off with spears so that they did not come aboard. And 2, they did not speak our tongue, nor did they want to wish to. They were slavers, I could tell. They had many chains aboard their ship.
We gotta get him to the Phantom when he's like this.
Did I forget, did Mikab come with us?
Nope, still on the ship.
He is on the ship. He is on the ship. At this point, he's convinced all of his people are dead. So, what do you guys do?
Go see the Phantom. Well, help his
Snag another
stumbling
drink on
ass
the way.
over there. Yep.
I'll save you guys some time. No one of import survived. It is just random phantons.
Anyone that knows Mikab?
I mean, surely they all knew him.
No.
They probably knew of him. They knew there was the phantom that left. But it's no one he's related to. No family. I made the roll beforehand. The shaman didn't survive. The king didn't survive.
We knew that one.
Just random people survived. The story you get is the worms came and it was a tidal wave of worms. They flew as fast and hard as they could. 35 phantons survived of the 500 in the village. That they know of. Maybe some took off. They heard rumor that some took off towards the Rock Baboon Isle, or the Rock Baboon mountains high up.
Okay.
Okay. So that it's a goddamn party. This is a holiday, right? People are dancing, most topless. It is a great time.
Toast, you don't need to remove. Okay, I guess if you're insistent.
Surprised you took those. They look awfully itchy. Really beneath you.
You do notice some other people, right? There is a couple ogres here, right? There was an ogre clan, right? A couple male, a couple female ogres, a couple of the Neanderthals, right? Couple of the lizard folk, right? They're here. They seem to be piled around a bunch of eggs, right? They seem to have a giant glass jar just filled with eggs and like a green liquid, right? And they're just kind of there's a stopper on, and they're just pretty much holding onto it. There's only about 6 lizard folk, and you're guessing maybe 22 lizard folk eggs. Normally they're kept in like swamp water. You do learn briefly that the lizard folk believe some of their tribe might still survive because the lizard folk dove deep into the waters, and that there is an island in the middle of a great river, which is kind of lower eastern side of the isle, right? And they might be hiding out there. And the worms don't go there, and some of the dinosaurs had survived that stay in the river. That they headed here after they started starving, because they had eaten most of the dinosaur, and they started eating a lot of the fish, and they were having trouble fishing because the fish were residing in the deeper parts of the river, and they needed to just do something because they could not survive forever inside. I say river, I meant lake. Yeah, that's about what you. Decimals of everybody that was on this side of the Great River that splits the isle in half.
I'm good talking to people. I'm gonna get my party on.
Yeah, you guys can drink, you can eat, you can roll percentiles to see what you wake up with. Artax can try to party if he wants, right? It's
Boogie.exe.
you can't really get drunk or high, but
He
whatever.
can do the robot.
What's my performance look like?
You can run the subroutine.
Fuck it, I'll do that.
Fuck it.
I will act.
Roll performance. You try to do the dance, right? Mimicking the dances of the people.
Here we go.
What do you got?
8.
8. You do the robot when everyone else is doing like a giant, like Celtic kind of circular dance, right? Everyone's dancing around you. You're like, I dance when I want to. I keep your friends behind.
Arigato, Mr. Robot.
Your eyes start flashing in like different colors, like it's some kind of like spotlight kind of thing. Okay.
Wouldn't it be double arigato, Mr. Me?
Neil, what do you do? What do you want to get out of this giant? It is a giant celebration.
Well, the flashing lights are really fascinating.
Yep.
And the smooth metal is so smooth.
Trey, your character is getting his chest massaged by a high paladin.
How do I feel about that?
I ship it.
Activate your human resources file and find the sub file.
Yeah, hang on, let me.
Touch.
Activate your nipple turrets.
No, don't pick them up that high!
Nipple blades activated.
Too sensitive.
For easiest chest shaving.
How about?
But you don't grow hair. I just keep it that.
You know what? I'm just gonna roll a general.
Yeah, roll percentiles maybe. Whatever you want.
I'm gonna roll a charisma
Sure.
check.
Roll it. Roll it.
See if I can
Yeah.
roll with the flow or if he's like weirding me out.
Okay. Cool. +1 to the roll.
I roll with the flow. I'm digging it.
Okay, you're digging it. You're down with it. That's awkward. Matt, how you doing?
You know, I'm probably more worried about the sand than anything else at this point, and fascinated that there's a shadow dragon around.
You're just watching him with reverence. He's like, stop.
Yeah, I'm basically just kind of keeping an eye on him to see how he interacts with the other people.
Roll me an additional history check. You get another try at this. I'll say that you're watching him. Maybe you spark up some more conversation.
13.
want a photograph or something?
13. It's still maybe he doesn't know, but something does gnaw at you.
Okay.
It's important, but you're not sure why.
Okay.
But his father's name is important, even though he may not know it. He was born and raised and lived on this isle. You realize
That's
he
Philadelphia.
You do realize he is 600 years old.
Okay.
So he's an adult. He's an adult.
That, what was his name again? What did I write it down? What was his name?
Nerso-Korean.
Nerso-Korean.
Is 600 years old.
You didn't get the last name, but you had that name. You have Scorpion Clan, you think. And you have that he was a black dragon and that he sired a shadow dragon. Which can happen, but it's like 1 out of 100. Which is really out there for dragons because they don't procreate that often. Right? They live long, but they don't procreate much. They might have, throughout a dragon's life, they might have like 12 kids. Right? Maybe.
How
But
long
they
is the
live
gestation
really long.
period for an egg?
That's a good question.
Gonna build a big funeral pyre, sacrifice your dead husband and the witch that killed him.
So, what is Toast doing during this giant celebration? What is Toast doing?
Carousing, mingling, mixing, hitting on all the ladies in the house.
Very spring courty of you. Go ahead and roll me a performance check.
I wanted to spill.
Performance. La chef du performance
But don't tell
is
them.
19.
19. You do not wake up alone. You can
Ooh,
dress up that scene however you want the next day.
oh yeah.
Who's the
Okay.
Red Warrior?
Okay.
I'll need to persuade the Green Lady / the Chief to do a favor, so let me get 2 more people from our crew here onto the place to enjoy the celebrations with us. Reyna and Tatiana.
Reyna and
I do this not near Decadic to surprise him with her.
yeah, go ahead and roll a persuasion check. Let's see. I know Tatiana. This one was Reyna. That was.
My halfling.
Oh, you're halfling lady. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
Scarlet's
God.
replacement.
Only a 14, sadly.
14. It's not high. It's not high. As long as they're willing to be searched in a similar manner, you're fine.
Oh my.
Within an hour, a canoe is sent out there. A canoe comes back. They are searched and they are given underneath a large. They have a privacy curtain. They are searched and they are given nice clothing, some jewelry, and some paint, right, to dress them up. And
Tatiana find Decadic, and I'll go enjoy the night with Reyna.
okay, yeah, you enjoy the night with Reyna. Roll me percentile. See how nice this night goes.
Can I tell the Phantom about Mikab?
Can you
Yes.
tell the Phantom? Are you capable of speech at the
Are you talking to an actual phantom or a bot? I want you to roll me a percentile.
Oh god, he's turning into a marauder. He's gonna start bringing nature to life.
Oh God.
I'll say if you get above 40%, you talk to Phantom about Mikab. What is it?
33.
You're just
You
describing a
have a
regular
deep
squirrel.
conversation with a monkey, right? It's not a phantom, but an actual monkey.
Just snuck in trying to get some food.
It's a Phantom.
It's a phantom.
It's a Phantom.
Monkeys aren't real.
You think the monkey is talking to you, right? You have a deep conversation with a monkey, and it, you know, it's
He's a Phantom that didn't develop wings.
there. You go. That's what you think
And
to
he's
yourself. And
He's
you
quiet. He keeps to himself.
occasionally you think he says words. At least you
He
imagine.
threw his poo at me once.
So what did you
Well,
get?
Meatcop did
75.
the same thing.
75. It is whatever you want to imagine, right? It is a beautiful time. It's a wonderful time. Raina has hell of a time. She's eating the food. She's drinking the wines.
But
It's
it's important for her to get out to parties after her.
She gets out. She's
Year of
partied.
imprisonment.
She stays close to you because she is still traumatized from that time, and you are a central point in her protection. Right? She believes in you, and it's a great time. It's a great time. Whatever you want to imagine it to be, that happens. So
Welcome.
while you're there,
Decadix waiting for you.
so think Hawaiian style grass skirt and like a coconut bra.
Oh God.
Tatiana will come up and just randomly greet you, and you're like, you look at the wine glass and you look at her. You look back at the wine glass and you look at her, and maybe like you
Smoot takes
poke
the wine
her.
glass.
You're as you poke her and are distracted, like your wine glass is gone. You're
But
like,
Decadix hasn't even
what
had
is
it.
anything
Boysenberry.
real? What do you do?
Oh my God.
It's a great time. People are celebrating bonfires, several bonfires.
I don't know.
Have you been drinking the wine?
No. I have to say how much Smoot was
Maybe like
there.
this one glass you hadn't start drinking it, but like, is it by touch?
It's like,
You don't know because it's gone.
You don't look weird.
Maybe you
You're carrying
grabbed a
drink.
wine glass so you didn't like feel like out of place, and now you don't have a wine glass. Tatiana has a wine glass.
oh, how did you get on land?
Oh, the captain invited us on. It was I and Raina. He's over there. Oh, and they're gone. They're off dancing by a couple bonfires back. He invited me back from the ship. I had to get inspected by a creepy woman, and then I was given these very fancy clothes. And look, I got a gold nugget necklace. Look at that. And I got rings. Look at these rings. Very, very tribal. Not quite as well smithed as my family's, as we come from a gold mine. But it's a lovely place. This is a beautiful adventure.
Yes, we appears we'll be taking on joining a war party exploring the island further on. I will be transporting them, I believe, on the ship. Quite dangerous by the sounds of it. I briefly think about contacting the captain telepathically. But no, I'll leave it be. Okay.
A dangerous mission. Well, if you're on it, Decadic, I'm sure it's going to be just fine. You've gotten yourself out some dangerous scrapes. You're like the more agreeable version of your father. All the bravado and none of the. Can I call your father an asshole? Is that okay?
Absolutely. Yes.
We all do.
He's an asshole.
Toast, go away.
I'm gonna conquer the line. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm going past you. We all do.
Where did he get those glowing sticks in his hands?
Who gave them to me?
And Smoot comes towards you with a bowl of body paints and really wide open eyes. Like, come on.
Let me decorate your nipples.
Yes, on that note, careful with that wine there. It's very potent, apparently, if that smoots anything to go by.
Let's do shots.
Right, I'm not drinking that black gunk they keep drinking, right? And none of those pipes, but it's a fun night. This is a good time. Sadly, my sister isn't here, right? She would have enjoyed this. Of course, she's really uppity-tighty, you know, anything to loosen up her bum.
Yes.
See, this is where my evil alignment goes out.
What would you like to do here?
I would love to dance and I would love to dance with you.
All right. Yes. All right, very well then.
She takes your hand off to dance in the tribal dances around the bonfires. Roll me performance.
Can I just as a kind of little bit here,
Okay.
because I'm paying attention to what's going on. Can I say that I see this and realize how awkward he's being, and I want to give him, I want to assist him.
You want to assist him? Every once in a while, if somebody tries to cut the line, you're playing a wingman, right? You're shoulder checking people, right?
Yeah.
You're like, hey, 1 second. You shoulder check a couple people.
Using the
You come-
samurai skill just to step right at the right time.
Right? Okay, yeah, fuck it. Roll with advantage. You get
Okay.
advantage on that.
Okay. That is a performance. 19.
You and Tatiana dance the night away. It is a wonderful time. It is whatever you could imagine. There is wine, there's dancing, there's tribal music. Eventually your tongue spell wears off, but still the purpose and the fervor of the people keep around you. And eventually you and Tatiana dance and talk the night away. Okay. It is the next morning. You awaken however each of you choose to awaken in a place of your choosing, depending on your roles. You awaken curled up next to a rock with a monkey on it,
Naked.
naked.
Where on the island exactly? Where did your
Body paints.
Right, you are given clothes. You don't know where you got the body paints. You are intricately painted. I owe you a dream. Everyone roll me a D.
And Artax, his back has Van Gogh's Starry Night on it.
Somehow you painted something immaculate on Artex's back, right? Van Gogh's Starry Night. It's
stays
amazing.
there
You're not sure how well.
Ever.
Yeah, you're not sure.
His head just
how
turns around
you did
completely
it.
and looks down like.
I want everyone
okay.
roll me a D12. One of you already gets something, but I'm gonna do somebody else get something else.
D12.
5, 10, 2,
11.
11,
6.
6, and 6. I rolled a 4. You have a dream.
Oh, do I?
You see yourself
Anyone just
before a great tree. This great tree is lit upon flame, but the flame seems to be natural upon it, as if it is leaves. The light of the flame appears to glow brightly and pushes back what appears to be ancient wriggling worms surrounding its trunk. You hear a voice come from the tree, and it says, "Stranger, I am Mwangi, the light, the bringer of hope. You are tied to great purpose. I wish to bring you with us. Would you..." I gotta look something up. I apologize. Give me
No
one
worries.
second.
You will be punished.
That's right.
I thought so.
Yeah, Toaster also painted on the back.
Woo!
Although
What is it?
just your butt cheeks.
The dog's playing poker.
Yes.
Oh, yes!
Okay.
Oops, no.
Edwin
Get that shit tattooed, bro.
Edwin Smoot, first of his name, greatest of 3 sons. Would you kindle the light, shelter the light, preserve your own light, and be the light of hope. You feel a warm presence roll over you. What do you say?
Like a good warm presence? Or like.
It's good. It's a good, holy, warm presence. It's asking if you would protect hope above all.
Yes. I am the protector of hope.
Oh,
Hope is what I protect. All of the hope. I stand between hope and the darkness.
Hey, Batman.
Hope is all I'm about.
Then rise, chosen of Mwangi, protector of hope. And now I have to change your subclass.
Remember joking he was a paladin without a god? Well, guess what?
Now.
Ancient tribal god of flame and hope. Through an acid trip, you wake up with a new god.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, if you've got friends who are like that, it's really not outside the realm.
You have now taken the oath of the ancients.
My
You have new abilities.
Tons of acid. He's-
Tons of new
now for some
abilities.
He didn't
Tons
find
of new
religion.
abilities. I'm gonna
Religion
hit that.
found him.
Hit save. Oath of the ancients. These are your new oaths. Kindle the light. Through your acts of mercy, kindness, and forgiveness, kindle the light of hope in the world, beating back despair.
Okay.
Shelter the light. There is good, beauty, love, and laughter in the world. Stand against the wickedness that would swallow it. Where life flourishes, stand against the forces that would render it barren.
Hey, look at it this way. Your word doesn't have to mean as much anymore.
Preserve your own life. Delight in song and laughter, in beauty and art. You allow the light to die in your own heart. You cannot preserve it in the world. So you cannot give up on your own hope.
Suddenly I'm Mr. Rogers.
Be the light. Be the glorious beacon for all who live in despair. Let light of your joy and courage shine forth in your deeds.
It's a beautiful day in Gullah.
You get a bunch of new passive spells that you can prepare each day. A lot of them are druidic spells. You are resistant to all magical damage.
Ooh.
And
Whoa, that's good.
at 15th level, when you are reduced to 0 hit points, you are not killed outright. You can choose to drop to 1 hit point instead. Once you use this ability, you can't use it until a long rest. So if you die, you are brought back to life. Once a day.
Ooh.
There you go. All right. That's what you have so far. And you get like a bunch of like ensnaring strikes, speak with animals, misty step, moonbeam, plant growth, protect from energy, ice storm, stone skin, commune with nature, and tree stride. Holy
You
shit.
get quite a
At
few.
17th level, you get tree stride.
Nice.
Which is.
It's like
You
a
walk into a
teleport.
tree and you can walk
Come out of another
tree on
tree.
the other side of the woods.
Anywhere.
nice.
Does that have to be a tree he's familiar with, like a forest he's visited before?
Yeah, it's got to be a place you've been before. But you can go from one tree to another tree.
Anywhere on the world.
Anywhere in the world, as long as there's a tree that is there.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay.
Alrighty.
That's a 17th level thing, but you do have Ice Storm and Stone Skin. Those are cool too.
Nice.
Now you can kill crew members too.
So.
There you go, right? This doesn't need to be like a one-person show. You can
My
murder
first
your
mate, I
own
expect
men.
you to step it up
But in
and
a
kill a few
hopeful
crew
way.
members.
And a hopeful,
I hope this doesn't kill you.
yeah,
How do
a
I-
very positive way. Anyway,
How do I change?
I just changed yours.
Oh, you did?
I did it for you. So if you refresh your thing, pick your new spells, because those change. Anyway,
I did
so-
accidentally bump this. Can you tell me the camera does it look okay? I
Oh,
just need to move
it does not. Twist it a little bit this way,
Which way?
towards me. A little bit more. Okay, you're good now.
That's good? Okay.
All right. So, somebody else found religion?
Yeah.
Very loosey-goosey, hippie kind of hopeful religion? If
God,
they
that
don't-
sounds so like Snoop.
You're becoming.
you can still be very lawful, right?
hope that
Believe in your
hooker's still
censorship.
alive
You're just
somewhere.
more like you cannot let hope die, right? You kindle the flame of hope
If I ever
within
meet
yourself
somebody named
and
Hope,
with others.
they're so saved.
You are Mr. Positive. The glass is half full. All right.
Hey guys,
So,
let's sing songs.
does
around
anyone
the
else have
campfire.
that has
Goodbye,
rolled?
y'all.
Anyone else that rolled well? How do you awaken, or do you want to bring that out later? Right? Doesn't matter. It's more personal to yourself. If no one else objects, you guys awaken in the morning, and where do you want to commune at? There are breakfast fires everywhere because there's a bunch of leftover food. Where do you guys commune at?
And I'm gonna go to where the food is. And still, if he's in the area, I want to keep an eye on the Shadow Dragon.
The Shadow Dragon actually doesn't come out during the day. He only comes out at night. He was open till he was awake. He awakens when the sun goes down, and he goes to sleep when the sun rises.
Okay.
Step.
Okay.
Bonus action tallies for 30 feet.
So I'm just gonna go eat some.
Okay, yeah, you eat some food. You guys know
Question.
around the afternoon that there will be a great festival towards the central ziggurat, and that is where you will announce yourselves if you choose to be brave enough to cast down the red worm. Trey, what'd you say?
I had a question. Is there a way to like shellac my back to keep Starry Night from like washing off?
If you go talk to one of the shamans, they could probably find a way to make that permanent.
Sweet, I will do that.
Okay. I will say you do that throughout the morning, right? So if you are willing to pay, roll me a persuasion check to see how much that's going to cost, because it's equivalently like making it a tattoo.
Say that again?
It's like making it a tattoo. Roll me a persuasion check. It'll still happen. It's just how expensive is it going to be?
Two.
2. It is going to be 400 copper.
Sold.
Sold.
Okay, 400 copper. You have Van Gogh's Starry Night tattooed on your back. They found a way to make this, they basically put a magical wax on it, and now it has seeped into the metal. Like any pirate, now you have a giant back tattoo.
Nice.
Okay.
Who painted it? Was it Snoop?
It was Smoot. Smoot, roll me a performance check with advantage.
It came to him in a vision.
I'll give you advantage and a +2 because you were
Sky
high.
broke into little dust that seemed
And
to
on
swirl
psychedelics.
around each other.
Performance +2 on advantage.
Performance +2 and advantage. You were
The
inspired,
police phone
and you
booth
were
fly through the night.
high as Van Gogh normally was when he did stuff.
Performance +2.
Poor guy.
The Smoot still had both his ears.
Dirty 20
Dirty 20.
or
The
Dirty
monkey
20.
bit it off.
You have both your ears, and I don't know where you got yellow paint at, but you got it. It is Van Gogh's Starry Night.
Do I remember painting that?
You do not, but you did it, and you have paint on your hands.
I usually wake up with blood on my hands.
Trey, your character
Yeah?
remembers him having a deep conversation with something about hope while he was painting that on your back.
Being a very kind of sheltered robot, he will consider this a bonding experience with Snoop,
Mongo had
and
deep feelings for
it's
Sheriff
starting to
Bart.
feel more
Very loud,
like part of the crew. He's very as much joy as a robot can have. He has it.
You have thoroughly been tattooed by the pirate crew. Nice.
Mongo have deep
Somebody
feelings for Sheriff
is
Bart.
licking her lips. Did you get a hold of a burger?
Mongo would kill and
Okay.
For sheriff part.
So, what do they do?
Nothing. Sarah's just having a party up there.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go.
Sarah had some of the punch
So you
too.
all awaken in whatever way you choose. You don't have to tell anybody. And you all make your way. If you have nothing else, do you guys want to talk in the morning?
Yeah. we should.
Okay.
This moon's got like Apocalypse Now tiger stripes.
Right. You are
Down
you are
his
you are
body.
painted. You are heavily. Once again, I'll keep that 20. You are crazy painted, and then you have like an Adam and Eve, kind of like a leaf over your groin. Right.
Is it very psychedelic?
Where'd the hair go?
You are very firmly shaved. Someone shaved your pubes. You
that
don't
all?
know who. Your body has thoroughly been waxed.
Did I do it? Did I do it? Did I do it? Did I do it?
With the nipple blades.
Spooning a monkey.
Spooning a rock.
You woke up thoroughly painted and waxed, spooning a monkey.
Spooning a rock with a monkey.
Spooning a
on it.
rock with a monkey on it. That you could talk to when you woke up. Because you
What?
can speak with animals. As a
Oh.
spell. Yeah.
God.
Oh.
So for all intents and purposes, he was talking to that monkey last night.
His linguist feet really kicked in.
What's your name again?
My name is Swing with Trees.
Swinger. Got it.
And the monkey's going to follow you. Like there's a monkey following you.
You've got a second
Okay,
pet.
now he's George of the Jungle.
And I don't have to look out for that tree. Mm-hmm. I can
Not yet, at
teleport.
least.
Eventually be able to walk through the tree.
Yeah.
Why? Hit the tree and he's gone.
All right, so you all are there. Are any of your cohorts there? Is Reina there or Tatiana?
I mean, for now, they'll hang out. I'm taking back to the ship when, we all go on the ship anyway. That's the war party.
She's probably like grabbing porridge and other stuff. She's maybe making the breakfast better, right? She's probably trying to get you whole hunks of meat so that you can swallow whole. Because you like big hunks of meat.
It is better.
And you cannot
Right.
lie.
Lying is like 80% of what I do.
I thought you slithered.
You other brothers
That's
can't
lying
deny.
with movement.
Turpin dance.
So you guys are all had a fantastic, crazy night, right?
Some crazier than others.
Some crazier than others, right? Some a lot crazier than others. But yeah, it was a party, right? It was a giant rave. So you guys are at the after breakfast party. A lot of tribal people have hangovers, right? Some are awkwardly walking out of tents with others, looking at them, and then kind of walking back to another tent. Right? It was a. This is one of the few times in the year where 8 tribes come together. Right? Not all the tribes, not all the people, but a lot of the younger people come, and this is basically the big party. And even though the horrible thing is happening to the north, it's happening to the north of the wall. Right? The warriors are aware,
Look at that memory.
but a lot of the other people don't. So, what do you do?
Well, I want to bring up some things that haven't been able to talk too much about on the ship. I was able to see that bug, that skittering sound on our ship. And suspicions confirmed, the demon roach has put one of his kin upon our ship.
But
Yeah, it's hideously ugly.
the Demon Lord Agrasco
Yes.
has been on our ship.
I don't know if he has been, but one of his roaches.
For how
Currently
long?
Well, that skittering sound you heard was undoubtedly it. How long it's been there is beyond me. I was able to spot it, but then it went invisible again. I had Artax hacking, but we unfortunately were not able to catch it and eliminate it.
Okay, we should take care of that at some point.
Yes, and watch what we say on there, since undoubtedly he's hearing most of everything.
Yes, if we need.
Artax is standing there. His torso is like 180'd. His head is also 180'd, so that his head is facing the right way, but his like chest and everything is facing outwards, and his
Your whole body goes like an
Starry
action
Night
figure.
is like proudly on display for everyone to see.
Just looking at it like something doesn't quite look right about how you're standing. It's the arms, they're facing the wrong way.
Look, I just think the Transformer looks
the wrong
cooler when it's like this. I don't care if it's not the right way.
Artex,
Commander
Great-
Spooked
great
did this
paint job.
last night.
I don't.
Then
Nice painting. Who did it?
You did.
No, really.
Yeah, it is a bit far-fetched. He doesn't look like he was good at walking before the end of the night.
I mean, given his state,
You did.
Captain, I wouldn't be surprised.
Speaking of
Swinger,
which,
did
how'd
I
you
do
like my
that?
surprise?
Yeah, you totally did that. You're speaking of the monkey. Only
Yeah.
you can hear this. Yeah.
Huh.
You know, fuck it. Somehow you have a familiar. It's a monkey.
but he already had me cop.
This one is an intelligent item.
The other one's not intelligent.
Also not me, Tom.
Just a monkey on your shoulder, like, yeah, of course you did it. Eating a banana.
Racist.
Yes, Captain, that was surprising.
Species is a different thing.
But, yes, we should alert the crew about this expedition going on. I presume that the chiefs and Mika will probably want to inspect the rest of our crew similarly, just to make sure that nobody on board has been infected. It occurred to me also, we could most likely use all the assistance we could on this mission. I could attempt to contact the Racosta once more and explain that we're not infected, we have not been cursed, and perhaps see if they'd be willing to help eradicate this evil now that we know how.
It's worth a shot, although I wouldn't get my hopes up.
It's unlikely, I'm sure, but seems prudent.
It seems he took the option of just leaving and letting someone else deal with it.
Yes, or perhaps he had other agendas to attend to. So I will, unless no one else has anything, I can send a message off to see if I can contact the Racosta again.
Okay. I'll have him roll with, normally has resistance to magic, but because you have a intricate connection, I'll just give him a straight roll. Sound fair?
Sure.
Got a worm in his brain.
When are we leaving?
Huh?
When are we leaving?
For the mission,
Yeah.
the next day.
Yes. Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh no!
Yes, that's a failure. You have 25 words you can send to it. I rolled a 5, which gives me a 17. Which I assume yours is an 18?
Oh yeah, my save is 18, yeah.
So you beat it by 1. I gotta roll a 5 or below to fail on this.
Yes. Alright. What was the Lord's name again? The Racosta Lord?
The Racosta's Lord is Area 39. Area 39. Give me a second. I actually got this one tabbed. Area 39, Racosta Shrine. Raja.
Raja, that's right. I know he mentioned it last week.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember. Yeah. Alright, sending it off. Lord Raja, we have been inspected by the island survivors. We are not cursed. We know of a way to eradicate it. Will you help?
You hear these words in return. Seek me in the blue clouds. My Sphinx will meet you. have it inspect you. If your words are true, I will meet you.
I'll relay that. Sounds like once we take off, we search the sky for blue clouds, and hopefully we can add more allies to this excursion.
Sounds like a plan. Hope he doesn't mind any additional guests we may bring along. Quite curious how many else will sign up for this war party besides Red Heaven.
It's a good chance.
I suspect not many.
I'm going to roll a d6 to see who's going to roll these percentiles. 1, 2, 3, 6, 3. 1, 2, 3. Corey, roll me percentiles to see whom else has the courage to come with the party when I do the announcement and we go into the next scene.
79.
79, that's 4 people. All right.
For in addition to the Red Heaven?
Yes, we will. We'll get to that. So, the giant central ziggurat to have a description. So once again, description of this giant place is. Give me a second. Technically called Area 1, but some players start here.
Silly players.
Who would do that?
The village of Tenora. So there are 4. So this place is built kind of like a cross, right? There are farmlands all around. It is in almost a perfect circle, right? And there are basically 4 small towns, right, in each area: north, south, east, west. And there are 4 roads that lead to a giant central area, which is has a giant central pyramid ziggurat, and there is a road all the way around it, right? So think of that giant circle, 4 town areas, and 4 roads that lead to the center towards a central kind of area that's kind of built up, right? And with a ziggurat in the middle. The ziggurat is heavily decorated with flags of. They aren't traditional flags, more like ribbons, right? Of color that kind of swirl in the breeze on giant poles, right? Because of the festivities for the day before. All 7 of the chiefs are here. Obviously, the 8th tribe does not have a chief, as it is just one person now. There's a large crowd below, mostly of the Tenora people, but there is a mix of other people that have come here, mostly younger folk coming to celebrate a celebration of life, as this is a holiday in basically the central capital. Once again, this isn't a populous place. Like Tenora itself has a population of 1,000. Maybe it has 1,500 now. Most other villages have 250 people, maybe 300 at best, right? Very small villages in comparison, but it's a big island, but they're more tribal people living on a smaller chunk of the island below the wall, right? And on smaller islands south of it. Masawa, the Red Heaven, sits painted red. He wears his Rakasta armor and is painted entirely red. Arms, legs, face, and he has white war paint down the center of his face, like a handprint. Kind of very similar, right? He wields his magical weapons. He is riding a small tiger, right? He looks as tribalistic but regal, right? He is a mighty warrior. He's a 10th level fighter, a 3rd level paladin, right? So he is formidable. He is alone There is a giant red circle around him. You're understanding that those willing to go on this mission must pass the circle. There are younger men and women, some of them with weapons and armor, who seem to be willing to maybe go, but they're very hesitant. As the shaman and the tribal elders speak about the horrors beyond the wall, and they do not obscure anything. Those warriors that would have come do not step up. Their courage has been shaken, which seems to be the purpose of this, right? Only worthy warriors who know what they're going into will be cast into this fray. As your characters step, I assume your characters are stepping forward?
Actually, no,
Or slither forward?
Smoot is just walking right in.
All right. Dressed in armors. At this point, you've had a chance to get your armors, your weapons. When Reyna and Tatiana came back, they brought your armor and weapons with them. So you were able to collect them and dress in them in the morning. Again, you have your stuff again. It is equipped, it is attuned, blah, 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 blah. As your characters start to come with, you feel that the crowd is emboldened by you. And 3 young men and 1 young woman come to greet you. Give me a second. I have to see what they are. I have character sheets here.
Is any of them a cleric?
I'm willing to see. They're either a tribal sub-chief or a tribal witch doctor. So basically warrior or witch doctor. Even or odd. 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 Even. Even. 2 fighter-like types come with you. They are tribal sub-chiefs, AE tribal warriors. And 2 witch doctors come with you. I will let you know when we get to the engagement part, which will be, it's 10:08. We got an hour and a half. Maybe we can get into this. Let's see what the fuck they are. Okay with you?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's do this. Let's find out together.
That's the spell the witch doctor
So,
says.
what was the name of my new god?
Jing Jang.
Mwangi. The spell is
Damn it!
Mawangi. Mwangi. It is a god of life and hope.
Awangi.
Yeah. It is a tribal god of life and hope. It is not actually on my god sheet. I will have to add it later. Its depiction is that of a great tree with leaves made of light and fire. It is a god of hope.
Almost like a burning bush.
But more tree-like, but yes. Though 12 apostles have died, but their Jesus remains.
When they were coming down from a summit at the mount.
Maybe. I'll let Neil make the canon of this new god.
Oh God.
Literally, he'll make the canon. The actual liturgical canon.
I'm not Berillion.
What?
What?
I will for the fighter classes. For the fighter classes, do you want them to be a ranger archetype, a paladin archetype, or a fighter archetype? I'll let you decide, then I'll roll to see which ones. And you make sure to make notes of which ones, because I'll have the cards ready.
Ranger would probably be helpful for tracking purposes.
Whatever you want it to be.
Well, we have Toast for tracking.
Yeah,
He's the best tracker in the land.
it's true.
Choose which ones.
But so it might not be bad to have him arranged.
Yeah. Ranger paladin.
Sure.
Oh,
One
paladin.
ranger and one paladin. Okay, to make note, please write this down. It is a D2 for the ranger. It's 1 of 2. Even odd. It is odd. You have a tracker.
Competition toast.
The tracker is going to be of 3rd level.
Oh, poor guy.
So it is a level 3
You know what you
tracker.
signed up for.
And the next one you chose is Paladin Archetype, which there are 3. So it's 1d4 minus 1.
Number 2 inspired me.
0.
It is a Cavalier of 5th level. 5th level Cavalier. Mark that down. You get to choose, because it's a witch doctor, you either get to choose druid or cleric.
Cleric, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 clerics.
There are 2 of them. So 2 clerics
I'm kind of druidy now.
or druidy.
Yeah, you want one of both?
Let's go one each. Let's give
Or you
One
saying
each.
it's your
I'm druidy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
clerics?
Can
Yeah.
you still review for fun?
Yes.
Okay.
Which one do you do first, the cleric or the druid?
Both are clerics.
2 clerics.
Changing
Well,
over.
two clerics.
2 clerics. 1, 2,
probably-
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Jesus Christ. I roll a d10 until I get a 7 or below.
Has nobody made a D7 yet?
5th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, sadly, I don't have that one.
Okay.
I might have to go find one. I guess another weird ones.
You get a 5th level Storm Speaker.
Winds to make us go faster.
2 clerics, you say.
Call lightning.
Yep.
And a 7th level Warden. It's the Warden, oddly enough, is the druidy version of a cleric.
Best of both worlds.
They get Spike Growth and Wind Wall. And Poison Spray.
So at some point, I need to find 8 hours in the day.
You can easily find that today. What 8 hours do you want to do?
I want to cast plant growth on
Whoa.
a field.
Oh shit. There are 4 fields here. You need to roll to see which one?
Sure. Because if I cast it over 8 hours, I enrich the land for a year.
Whoa!
The plants
third-
yield twice the normal amount of food when harvested.
Whoa.
Third field. So after this, you go into the field. It's kind of like a field of dreams where you walk amongst the green, run your hands amongst the corn, right? And behind you, the corn starts to grow up and spurt stronger, better, faster. A monkey behind you, kind of throwing seeds, right, sitting on your shoulder. Add
Monkey Appleseed.
Add to your character sheet familiar monkey. It's like the last tab. I think you were gonna add like a familiar,
Oh, that's
and you have a monkey.
Weird.
That's so weird, yeah.
Cool. Okay. Also do your keep and cast that there too in the field.
So
a couple of
4
times.
people and the character Masawa of the Red Heaven is choosing to go with you. You guys are at this point given a direction and a place. There is a great anthill that has sprung up from the ground. You know where it is, and you know there's a great tunnel. It has many caverns, and somewhere within it you will find a cloaked figure in red who has but a single red worm that dances amongst many pale black and tan worms amongst it. You are to destroy this figure. They will be known by their voice, which will be hollow and black and ancient. They will call themselves Chris. Kyuss. They will not call themselves a follower of Chris, but they will call themselves Chris. Ancient
Kyuss. It's K-Y-U-S.
Kyuss.
Kios.
Did that come up already?
Kyuss.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
The other thing,
Yeah.
whisper it to
okay.
you. This thing is saying that it will be it. You will see a single red worm that will slither its way around this. Oh, no. Let me take that back. You will just see a red worm. A great, overpowering worm that is red. Bigger than any worm you have seen before, bigger than a mammoth. But it will be flanked by several spellcasters made of worms, with red worms dancing upon them. If you kill the red worm, you kill its ability to procreate. Thus, any worms will just die. When they die, it is the source of the worms procreating.
I think I know which fig is going to represent the red.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna want it to be using that.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Yeah, you see my wall.
Yeah.
You know what it is. You know what the fig is going to be.
You
It's
got
gonna
it all
be a
painted
fig.
up and pretty for our last campaign, and we never actually fought it.
Right. This is just going to be a horrid monstrosity, but there'll be other things there. I promise to make it terrible. I hope you all don't die. Anyway, you get that. You are told there. You know where to
Just
go.
hope some of us die.
So when your characters are ready, we can begin travel to there.
Well, we can travel, but we're gonna surprise our hunting party with a side stop in the clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for familiar, there's flying monkey or there's ape.
Really?
Yeah.
Choose flying monkey. That's fine.
Okay.
That's not unfamiliar to you.
Stay on brand.
I'm surprised there's not an actual just monkey, right?
Not if you do a search.
But Chip.
Yeah,
Chimp?
try other monkey words besides just monkey.
Marmoset.
Baboon.
Lemur?
Lemur. Yes. Lemur.
How about this? We'll take a 5-minute break and then we'll continue on. We
Chimp
will
doesn't
start
work.
off in the Rakasta Flying City in the Clouds. Sound good to everybody?
Yep.
All right.
Nothing.
After these messages, we'll be right back. All right, I've got music going in the background, and I will.
By any chance, is the printing done yet?
The audio. Welcome, everybody. We are back to the Dungeons and the Dragons with the crew of the Enterprise, the Nostromo. Sorry, wrong ship. Who it is?
In our hearts will always be the Enterprise.
No.
Anyway,
In my heart will always be the Enterprise.
you guys enter the Red Circle. 4 other warriors and clerics enter with you, as well as the still standing Mazwa of the Red Heaven. Decadic
He's allergic to
sneezes
bullshit.
uncontrollably several times. There is a large cheer. People throw colored streamers at you. Several fires are the difference. You obviously are getting aftershocks of your acid trip, right? As the streamers fly at you and the fires erupt in the distance, right? You're seeing trees on fire with golden leaves made of light, giving off a hopeful light as a dog stares painfully at you, as it is obvious obviously unfed and hungry.
The poor starving dog.
Is it really there?
The dog is like, I hunger, I hunger. Anyway,
Swinger, is there really a dog there?
no.
I heard there's a rabbit that
real
wants to die. You can feed it to the dog.
Anyway, when you guys do decide to go to the area that I have described, which is the area described is going to be a flooded city. There's going to be a central spire with a hole in it. You can go into the hole, and somewhere within the caverns that have been dug deep within this flooded city and this great hole upon the ground, kind of like an anthill, you can confront the red worm in its lair. After probably horrible and many confrontations thus within.
First, we go to the clouds.
So you all gather,
Clap.
you offer up your flying ship to transport these warriors of the Mwangi tribes.
Dramatic flair.
Lots of streamers and flyers go up in the distance. In the town of Tenora. And you guys fly off towards blue clouds.
Yeah, I
Whatever that
can
means.
cast Scry to try to locate the mountain because we've been there before.
If you burn the spell, I will allow whoever does the navigation check to do so with advantage.
Got it, baby.
I'll burn the
Who
spell.
is doing the navigation check? You. Okay. Roll me navigation with advantage. It is a new day. You guys have had a long rest.
Oh, good.
As many as your acid trips have been, and your nights have been very eventful.
Remind me what stat navigation is.
Navigation is intelligence.
Okay.
Intelligence plus proficiency. Plus proficiency. Jesus, why are words so hard?
Because apple juice.
Yes.
So,
And English, it is over 900,000 words. The next closest
So,
is
dirty
Mandarin.
20.
500.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Dirty 20. Yes, you are able to. It takes you a full day. You get there by the night. Because near the center of the isle, you see a giant circular blue cloud.
I was gonna try and learn Mwangi on the trip.
Roll me an intelligence check.
Plus point of order.
Yes.
It is 1,025,109.8 words. Or I'm sorry, 1,025,109,008 words in the English language. Chinese is second with 500,000.
English is
So
bullshit.
I was still right on the second part.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were right. You were right. It's just
16.
ridiculous, donkey.
Dicky donkey, it sure is, buddy,
Because
buddy.
of your acid trip, with your one day, I will give you 2 successes.
Sweet.
Your acid trip helped you learn a new language.
You'll only be able to
Through-
speak it when you're high as a
I
balls.
don't know the whole language, but
It's conditional. You can do whatever you want. You just have to be high out of your mind.
Your ship goes higher than it's been before.
yeah, that's right.
It begins to get very cold at this depth, but in the higher cloud formations, there is a singular blue ball of clouds that is apparent from its white counterparts. You fly into this infinite blue mist, and eventually the mist dissipates and gives way, and you are inside this giant blue cavernous mist. As you are here, you see, as you saw within your scrying before, a giant floating island. The cold turns to warm as the temperature visibly and physically changes. Though it was dark within the blue mist as you flew through it, as you come towards this aisle, there is light that's reflected from the inside of this this egg-like cavernous shell of clouds that surround this giant blue aisle. The island itself is maybe 2 miles by 2 miles, right? Very large. The blue shell is maybe 5 by 5, right? Surrounding it. There is in the front of the aisle is a giant, it appears to be a single decked deck made of stone. You can visibly see a sphinx upon it with several orange glowing orbs surrounding the sphinx's head. A sphinx is a tiger-like body with probably angelic wings behind it and a humanoid-like head and a golden crown upon its head. And there are several golden motes of light surrounding its head.
Like a halo or a crown?
A physical crown, physical golden crown.
Okay.
But then the motes of light kind of make a halo-like symbol, but it seems to be weird. But then again, very little of you, I would guess, know anything about sphinxes. Does anyone have both knowledge arcana, knowledge history, and knowledge religion, both trained?
All 3.
Okay, you can have a singular roll.
Same, me too.
Both of you get a roll. Both of you can roll a intelligence check. The DC is 10.
Intelligence, right?
If you have all 3 of these skills checked.
21.
17.
Fuck you both. Sphinxes are beings of pure knowledge and thought. They are physical embodied. Their power rests in mental riddles and mental prisons, even if you are unwilling. The Sphinx's riddle is a thing of infinite mystery. Each Sphinx has a perfect riddle, something that even archmasters have difficulty wrangling their minds around, and it will drive you mad and break you if they cast it upon you. They ask you queries and you must answer, but if you answer the query, they have no power over you. But their query is very powerful, very potent, and very complex. Only the bravest of minds challenge a sphinx on their riddle. And they will attack you with both their body and their mind. Anyway, this sphinx appears to be more powerful than your standard sphinx. Hey, Tony doesn't run standard Gorgons. So, it appears to be there, as well as it has its golden crown as you get closer. Appears to be robotic almost, with blinking lights. It has been modified through
Sci-fi
technology.
Cyber Sphinx.
It has access to every riddle on the internet.
That is just the Sphinx of the bridge, which is Area 1. Area 2, you see 4 giant pyramids. There are Rakastas that are going in and out of them. Altogether, you know there to be about 600-700 Rakastas. Area 6, there is a giant temple. Area 5, there appears to be a great library with scrolls upon it, you assume. Think Library Alexandria. Area 3, there is a giant, has anyone ever seen Thundercats?
Yes.
Not in a long time.
Okay, if you remove the giant lion, the lion statue with the giant pyramid behind it that goes skyward, much taller than it, very much like that. A pyramid that shoots towards the sky, made of what appears to be strange bluish and silver medals, and a giant cat statue that appears to be made of stone or some solid irons with giant red eyes. Area 7, 2 large pyramids side by side, and there appears to be some other areas behind it, with like glowing rocks and like floating orbs and crystal rocks. This is very mystical, and there appear to be small floating ships going around this isle. Smaller than yours, but they seem to be made of metal, and they seem to have flames behind them. You see, out of character, telltale signs of technology. Ancient. Well, futuristic to you, ancient in regards to those that know of the ancient Elven lands. So, giant technology, floating cat people, island in the sky, right? Standard fantasy, right? And a sphinx who will greet you.
Ricosta cats.
Canon, yes.
That's what the Sphinx says as we come up.
So where do you go?
We're gonna go up to the Sphinx, I guess.
As,
I mean,
as
we're
instructed, we will approach the Sphinx first.
You go up to and you make
Snarf.
deck you make dock
fly right
at
up
the
to a
deck.
Sphinx and speak to him from the end.
The Sphinx, in a multicolored shawl, much like a harbor master, comes up to greet you.
Uh-oh.
Does he have a podium?
Sadly, no.
Good.
Does he recognize the face? Is it the same one?
You've never met this robotic Sphinx before.
Has Smoot met this robotic Sphinx's sister?
Not this one.
The night's young.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the correct.
Welcome, members of the Nostromo. I have been told to greet you. I am...
Don't bother, we won't remember it.
I am the eunuch.
You're just the help.
Enhanced Sphinx? I got a picture of the Sphinx.
Ooh. Ooh.
Jesus.
Whoa.
That's scary.
Oh,
Imagine some glowing orbs around its head, but there you go.
It looks spooky.
It looks
Trust
more like a
us.
Gorgon.
Cannon. It has stone turning powers now. It does.
can I get that as like just a thing in general in my life? Johnny's wish just says it looks spooky, just like that. Trust. I need that.
You have been given safe passage by Raja, the one true and pure. I will watch over your ship. You have 6. It speaks with almost a robotic voice. As it speaks, the crown around it has several crystals on the golden crown upon its head that blink when it talks. Its eyes look dead. Almost glossed over, but there are the glowing orbs around it, which seem to flare with colors as well. Very psychedelic-like, almost tripping you again.
This height too, yeah.
You have been granted entrance. I will watch over your ship. You have entrance into Area 3, the Central Spire. Raja will meet you. 6 of you may go. Pick your 6.
Our 6 is obvious, so someone doesn't want to go.
Right. 6 players? 6 characters? Craziness.
In maids, orcs, and strikes.
Damn, I was going to bring Mr. Heaven with us to meet the Emperor.
I don't know.
Right.
What about Swinger? I gotta bring him.
Anyway,
You got your sword.
you-
That's true.
do you guys all go?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, if anyone doesn't want to go, let me know. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We leave
Okay.
Toast and bring the Scarlet statue with us.
Go place the statue. Okay.
Eventually, you guys are brought in. It is a little bit of a journey to the central spire. The central spire shoots up almost impossibly tall to the sky. For some of you, Johnny, this is not irregular to you. You have been to the 1,000 Towers of Hembrook. You have seen Mage's Towers this tall before. Right? This is about 9 stories tall. But it does look like a spire made of metal. Right? This is out of character. This is probably the tip of a spaceship that's buried in the ground. Right? Out of character. Weird blinking lights. This is fucking crazy. Right? As you make your way towards a drawbridge, as I would describe it, some of you it would be a opening portal to a spaceship, opens up, and you see a no longer mummified Rakasta with white fur and very Bengal stripes, with robotic implants in their head, walk out.
He's a Siegfried and Roy White Tiger.
Yes. You see Raja no longer oh my god, fucking words. No longer, we're demonetized again, America. No longer covered in the bandages that you had saw him before, which you had learned is some kind of regenerative magics, right? Out of character. Nanobites, right? In the cloth. And the cloth was more like a kind of like a covering, right? To hold them in. But in character, weird robotic magic, right? He comes out and he's like, "You have cold. You say you no longer have the sickness. I inspected. I had your ship scanned. Outside of one demonic presence, you are clean.
Oh, wait. Presence. Wait.
Why do you come to the Rakasta?
Okay.
We have left the isle as it is impurified, and my ancient enemy has left it.
We seek to destroy the Red Worm and purify the Isle again.
Well, that's a you problem. We are obviously floating in the sky. How can that be our problem? Unless you bring it to me.
The worms are contained to the isle for the time being, but eventually, through accident or design, they will spread to the rest of Gulacy if they are not exterminated.
Care little of your planet. In 150 years, we will launch this ship as it will be repaired back into space towards our home planet.
A lot can happen in 150 years.
Right, and if I don't let anyone towards here, I'm not going to have to worry about it.
Are you certain you can keep it out? Are you?
Roll me a persuasion check. Before you tell me the number, the DC is 17.
18.
I'm never completely certain. How certain are you and your men to exterminating the plight?
We will exterminate it or try trying.
The way that I see it is you have nothing to lose if you can keep it out.
It's in your interest to help.
All right.
Yours too.
How about this? I have nanobite technology that might protect you once, and only once. You will have to be ejected, only those that are currently here in the neck. If you fail to resist the worms, they will protect you one time. And one time only. You fail the saving throw against a worm getting in your body, you can fight it off once automatically and save.
Okay.
Except for Trey's character, who is fucking immune, right? Because, god damn it, I can't infect a robot.
Next
Fuck
group,
you.
all Warforged.
You sure can.
I'm gonna get a giant goddamn magnet then.
I just need a small one to scramble his hard drive.
I'm titanium and not ferrous, so fuck you.
Anyway,
Joke's on you, he's made out of recycled plastic!
If we were to offer you information you would desire, would you be willing to lend us more aid, such as any troops that could accompany us?
I will not sacrifice those people I have. Our bloodlines are strained as it is. I may offer you potions, whether such elixirs. I'm going to call them potions, right? Your minds can't comprehend what they really are, but I'm going to call them potions, right?
Calling us stupid. Calling us dumb.
Yes, he did.
Well, shoot.
If you are interested at all in attacking your ancient enemy, you know where he currently resides.
The Eye of the Deep.
Indeed.
I would be interested in bringing in the Eye. If or when... fuck, no, I gotta make you roll.
Yeah, of course.
Roll a... Oh, it's gonna be persuasion again.
Can I assist?
You've already rolled yours. It's gonna be straight on him.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
It's 17. Yeah.
17. That's PC. When you actually go after him, let me know. I may be willing to assist in trying to take Orsilius out. Orsilius has obtained a powerful body, and he is seeking to complete the world engine. They always seek to fix the mothership so that they can purify this world and then go back to their own. I'd be interested, but only if you're actually going after him. If you're not, I'll disintegrate your ship from afar. I have a death ray that could do that.
If
Be a long fall.
just curious, if Osilius is here to purify Galaxy, why are you here?
We chased him long ago, seeking to liberate those that they have enslaved. We sunk their ship, but sunk our own. Thus you are on our ship. I'm tired of this war. Once you woke me, in 150 years our ship will be repaired, and I will fly again through the spaces to find our homeland and return if I could bring back word that we have taken care of the problem, great. If not, fuck off. That is all the welcome you'll get. Come back to my isle without intent, I'll disintegrate your ship. It's little magic. I have a death ray.
I think he has
Doesn't even want us to come visit for fun? God, I thought he liked us.
That's one hell of a flex right there.
I built a death ray. It doesn't seem to be working. I'm standing right in it, and I'm not dead. Mythbusters is great.
We do have quite a few irons in the fire at the moment. Many other foul beings threatening Gullisy, but we are not fond of Oselius planning to eradicate our world either.
Fighting lesser evils, I say.
Your mom's a lesser evil.
He has a death ray.
Come back sometime within the next 12 years. If you're serious.
Might be able to say that.
In 150 years, I'll finish the repairs on this ship, and we are going to leave this planet. I have been here too long. I was hoping to save those elves from Athrathor that were kidnapped. There's only about 12 of them left, as our scans have shown us. Fuck them. We've been here long enough.
Is
I sunk
Maladak
the
one of
ship.
those elves?
Hmm?
Is Maladak one of those elves that you mentioned?
I have to roll a check.
Going for one of the oldest elves I can think of.
There was like 5,000 of them. I'm trying to see if he actually knows. God damn, that's actually a good fucking roll. It's 19. Maladak. Yes. He was one of the Eternals. One of the first elves. They are immortal. They can die. But they don't die of old age.
And how would one go about killing Maladin?
It's that heart that's in
Been
the
about
death thing.
10,000 years since I was last awake. I would assume a good stabbing. I don't know his current whereabouts or status.
We could probably find him pretty quick. Just throw me on a beach.
Some sand up here I could stand on.
Got my death ray!
Just put the death ray at him, and as soon as he shows up to kill you,
Damn it, it was another sand body. Keep trying.
The ancient elves, as I know them, are unaging. The Mind Flayers sought to perfect their slave race and found a way to stop them from aging. They did this to 5,000 of them. There are 12 left that I know, that I've been able to scan for on this planet with our ancient Rakasta technologies, which only I know how to operate, but I'm trying to educate my younglings on.
this place you spoke of is Athrathor.
Yes,
This is where the elves hail from?
yes, it is the homeland of the elves. The race, which all of you are born from. You all are born from originally 5,000. 7 tribes of elves. And that is which your race resides upon. Obviously, you do not inherit the immortality of the originals. They were genetically manipulated by the Mind Flayers to be immortal slaves.
Well, we thank you for what assistance you are willing to offer us.
If you go for us, Elias, I will help. Take care of the worm problem. I'll give you a small inoculation. Not a permanent, but you know, you're not Bracasta. Our technologies do not sit well with you, as they do with other of ours or our ship's computer.
We will happily accept whatever aid you can give us.
Right. He'll pull out a syringe and a giant gun. Are we doing this now?
Well, what's going to be the side effects in 10 years?
Is this FDA?
That's going to be a problem for you in 10 years. Honestly, this is made for cat people. So we're going to find out together.
See, I read a post in this Facebook group about this.
Caution, you might be sterile. He can stab you in the neck and shoot you.
Alright, that's the least of my concerns, actually, but okay.
Okay. Fuck it. Roll percentiles. I'm curious.
It makes you
Oh my god, yes. I don't know if that's good or bad. 39.
39, nothing bad. Next, he goes up. He draws it out of your neck, doesn't sterilize the blade, and goes over to the captain.
God damn it.
God, stabs you. Hope you don't have the AIDS.
Which ones?
Shoots it into you. Roll me percentiles, just because of fuck of it.
Plan on having
34.
34, nothing bad for you.
still have hatchways.
If you do get infected by the worms of Cross, you automatically save against the first failure.
Cool.
That's what it will give you.
Are they a disease?
No. Damn. It's an actual physical worm trying to burrow through your body to reach your
They
brain.
did mention we could cut off limbs, so
That's a way around it too. Next, Corey, stab in the neck.
I've got a ring of regen, so it is just a slowdown. So it's not your head that we're cutting off.
Is Corey
You're muted.
there?
Corey,
He might be
muted.
He looks frozen.
Oh, yeah.
Corey,
He might not be, actually.
Oh,
He's very still.
He's not muted.
Oh,
oh no,
Mr. Roboto.
Dr. Roboto,
Yeah.
Mr. Coriato.
Mr. Roboto.
All right, we're skipping over him for now. Wait, is he back?
Not quite. We'll come back to
Okay,
you. We'll
we're
come
coming back to
Corey.
you. You'll be the last one. Trey.
I froze.
Yes.
Yes, very
Our
badly.
froze.
Son of a bitch. They try to inject you.
Hello?
Fuck it, they inject you. Rolling percentiles.
You're
You're sterile.
Trey,
In other words, no change.
rolling percentiles.
I'm a robot.
I
Well,
know.
maybe you'll become a sterile.
Do it
robot.
anyway.
You're being injected with nanobots. Please roll me percentiles.
Something cool.
Maybe you'll become fertile.
98.
Holy shit.
Become a cat robot.
You become a human boy.
Nope. Trey, make note you rolled a 98. As a robot, you get injected with nanobots.
Oh.
Grows hair.
On his bones.
Just note this is a plot point. Something significant may happen within the next 300 days. Matt.
42.
42, you're perfectly fine. They take the blackish thing from him because it's oil and stab it into you. You probably have tetanus now.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely don't have to worry about worms. Pull it right. This needle, by the way, is this fucking long. They stab it into you.
Stab goes out the front. Squirt.
They're fine.
It takes out dead ears. Just the
They
blood.
fucking stab it into Neil next. Like, I think this is where his vein is. I don't know. He's not a cat person. Stab.
Do you even have veins?
9.
You might be sterile.
Is that?
Or something else at this point. What diseases do we have as a group?
Magic
What do you need?
He's a paladin. He's probably disease-proof.
Yeah.
So, Trey rolled a 98 and you rolled a 9.
Freaky Friday.
Make a note. Over the next 300 days, we may make subsequent checks, both you and Trey, over what may happen. You still get the positive effects, but the nanobites might have things going on. Both of you enter a small, weird meta plot that may or may not happen, right? That's very personal to your characters. Great.
Wouldn't be a D&D game of ours if we did at least once again.
I hope
Right?
Artax gets pregnant with a mini Artax.
Over the next 300 days, what?
For the next
Something
300 days, that means 12 checks. Every time a month passes, we're going to make a check. And we're going to see what happens.
You might die long before then.
I am curious. I am very curious. But nonetheless, you are immune to your first failure against the Worms of Kos. Outside of Trey's character, which was already immune, you just get something else. So, cool. Cool stuff. All right.
And we'll find out with Corey
So-
whenever he fixes the ship.
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to do while you're here? Shopping for potions?
Yes. What kind of potions and stuff does he have?
Yeah, if we're allowed. He has a death ray.
Yeah, he's very blatant about that. Like, I'll blow up your fucking shit, right?
Yeah.
Don't fuck around. You'll find out.
Yeah, we are not. I don't care if we hear 3 screams in the distance. We are not going anywhere. We're not supposed to.
Corey says his internet stopped working.
Oh, that sucks.
Sucks.
Yeah. Roll me a. Roll me.
Drive on over.
Each of you gets to roll me a. You get a free potion.
Ooh.
Roll me a. Even odd. Doesn't matter. Let me know which one it is. I'm going to go around the table to see if it's even or odd, and then a 1 through 20. Starting with Johnny. I'll go around the table. Johnny?
That's odd.
Odd. Roll me a 1 through 20.
4.
You get a potion of invulnerability.
Nice.
Ooh.
You.
It was even, followed by 17.
Even 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Potion of gaseous form. This is nanobite technology that turns you into these things, by the way. Right? Not magic, nanobites. Trey.
Yo.
Even or odd?
Roll. Just roll.
Even. What am I rolling? A D20?
Yep.
Just any die.
D20.
Even!
Yeah, but D20. What'd you get on a D20?
You got.
Even a odd roll, and then a d20.
14.
Potion of Demutation. That's a potion that makes you smaller.
It could be a little Artax.
Does anybody else want that?
It could always be useful. You never know when you need to be swallowed.
You are immune
never
to their
know.
effects. There's a small crevice or tunnel you need to crawl
Right.
through.
I can throw it in my bag of potions if you
Even
want.
in
but
10.
Yeah, I'll give it to the captain.
just keep throwing it in
Potion
there.
of Aqueous Form.
Hey, that'll make you worm-proof.
It's true.
Yes.
Alright.
If you get infected,
What about
just
you?
turn liquid and
Even
wring you out.
16.
Yeah.
Even 16. Potion of Flying.
Nice. Can we buy any potions from these people, or is
Nope.
that it?
You just,
Yep,
get,
okay.
you just get the potions. They don't have any shops here. This is a spaceship.
Yeah, it's a big spaceship. There's lots of them.
Thank you so much for your help. We'll be on our way now. Thank you. Goodbye.
To note, especially for Artax, if you happen to do that last mission, they may have mechanical upgrades for you as a reward.
Seems like you are reactive to their nanobots and technology.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Okay.
We still have an ion stone. We could try shoving it somewhere in you and see if it does anything.
Okay. It is 11:10. I assume next game we are going to prepare for whatever you're going to do. Basically, it's going to be a dungeon, right? If you guys are ready, we can dive into the dungeon the next day, so you get another full rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the ship. I'm not going to make you make any checks. You have a ship. You have a space. You have a flying ship. You can get there. I'll have a dungeon. I'll prepare the dungeon. You guys will fight your way through the dungeon and see what happens, or retreat. Whatever you want.
Play Boulder?
Remind me to have Corey roll whatever he's going to roll, and we'll see if he rolls whatever potion. Actually, somebody else roll his potion. We'll just do it now. Who wants to do it?
Even.
It's even.
1.
It is a potion of... That sucks. Roll it again.
What was it?
20.
Blood of lycanthropy antidote?
What of what?
It
Werewolf.
fucking sucks.
Yeah, it
Werewolf,
prevents you from being a werewolf.
It's
Oh, wow.
Why would you
Were
not want to
creature.
be?
Potion of growth. So opposite of demutation, a potion that makes you bigger.
Okay.
One potion makes you bigger,
One makes you smaller.
Okay.
Drink me.
and the one that mother gives you
Nope,
don't
reverse.
do anything.
So
at
we
all.
will plan on episode 96, you diving into the monster's lair, seeking out the red worm in the worm hive.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? The CR of this adventure is equal to your CR. This is equal to you going into the lands of Vashadona. It's a giant isle to the north, which is a
Super mega
cursed
cursed.
elven lands with like
yeah.
robot stuff in it.
Yep, that's where the creepy monster alien thingies came from.
Yeah, there was a flying ship that went in and took something from that lands and came here and crashed. Then you released that thing into the wild and
And we're cleaning up our mess now.
cleaning up your mess, right? Okay, I like it.
We're responsible for the extinction of the dinosaurs in this world.
So anyway, questions, concerns, comments
Oh shit, we are.
for next game. What are your questions, concerns, comments for next game?
I don't want to die. Oh God, oh God.
I can't help that. You're supposed to have hope. Have hope.
Yes, be our hope.
It's literally your sin is not having hope. Anybody
We
else
should
have any?
change our name to the Super Winners.
You gotta name the party last time. The one game Tom doesn't show up for.
Both games, every time I leave, we get a name that something.
No, our name should be the Men Who Stare at Goats. Because Smoot is basically Jeff Bridges from that movie right now. Soldier who had a way crazy vision, and now he's trying to become a psychedelic soldier.
Trey, were you the one who said Wu-Tang Clan this last time when I
Oh,
was
yeah.
gone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We are.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have to watch that.
All right.
It's a good movie.
I know. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times.
Okay. So you guys are ready. Next game, I'll have a dungeon ready. You're gonna go into the damn thing. You're gonna see if you can survive. You've agreed to go into the damn thing. You're committed at this point. I'm gonna prepare it. If you turn the corner, it's gonna be a dungeon no matter what. Fuck you guys.
Oh God, we tried to fly away. Our ship broke down and we're
work for
crashing.
you guys not to go in. I'll pull you in. Let me death rays following you.
Yes.
They said they were going there. They're not, fuckers.
Crash landing into the dungeon. The parts from your ship are in there.
I mean, if it'll kill the red worm, maybe. Yeah, just dive. Fly the ship into the island.
Yeah.
Speed.
I will see you guys next week on the Dungeons and the Dragons, and we will prepare for a life and death encounter. You do get a long rest, so choose your spells, abilities, and equipment wisely. And I hope you don't die.
Sorry, I have low wisdom.
That's a you problem. Anyways, we'll end it on that note.